You know, I know Vivian in real life, and she kind of looks like her, but not quite. That's going to be amazing when she comes out. But hello, everybody. My name is La Tigers. I'm joined by two completely new individuals. We got Gore Miser all the way over there, and then Mr. Cuss Cutie himself, one of our latest qualifiers to the World Championship. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I don't have to play today, so all the stress is off my back, and it's on these teams today. So
a lot of relief coming off your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Relax.
Yeah, absolutely.
But still that analytical mind working in the back.
Oh, I'm still picking some things up here and there. You know?
I feel you on that. What about you, Gore Miser? How you doing?
I'm just excited. The games today so far have been awesome, and I'm excited to see more because I think we're starting to hit that point where the sets are going to get a lot closer.
A couple 3-0s. We started off with a 3-1 with Purity, which is actually one of the teams we're going to be visiting in a moment. But a little quicker after that. SK Gaming we haven't gotten to see since a little bit of time now, but SK and Purity will be facing off against one another. Well, you're quite familiar with SK.
Yeah, they're our scrim partners. We know them in and out. They know us in and out, and this set should be one for the record books here. I think it's going to be a very good set.
So how do you expect them specifically as a team to perform?
SK, I feel like they're going to come out swinging. I think they're going to stick to what they know. I know that they want to change up a little bit, especially after what we saw yesterday with like the bulk up buck and everything. Mm-hmm. I know that they're looking at some other things. I don't expect it to come out here today. I think they're going to just stick to what they know. But it should be a pretty clean set. I expect Purity to maybe sneak one by, maybe. But it's going to be a good set overall.
What about you, Gore?
I mean, it comes down again. We're looking at PPL versus PGS. We've just been seeing a lot of strength coming down from the Premier League teams coming down where they just don't falter as much. They don't make as many mistakes. And when it comes down to it, they're very confident in their drafts. So I expect it's going to be a strong showing from SK again. Purity, I agree, kind of might have a chance in there. There's going to be some bumps in the road for SK, but they're definitely going to be very solid.
Now, Cuss, you have a lot of shot calling experience within your team, and Bitey considers himself one of the leaders of SK as well. So what are your thoughts on him in that leadership role?
If you're going into a set and it's going to be a tough set, there's nobody you want at the helm more than Bitey. Very loud, very energetic, great player to watch, great player to play with. I get the opportunity to play with him and pick up games all the time. He's just an all-around great guy. Great player, great shot caller. Couldn't ask for anybody else in that role.
Versatility within his champion pool. We see him on the Ruckus there. There was a Ruckus pentakill earlier, so if he comes through with the Ruckus, he's probably going to try and give that a run for his money. But Gore Miser, what are your thoughts on his play?
I mean, we've seen a lot of aggressive frontliners come down through the league. He played a lot of Ash, a lot of Fernando. There's something to kind of get the ball rolling for his team. But you saw there, Jin coming through. Like, surprisingly enough, it's one of the teams that have been running it and being successful with it.
Now, Cuss, what wins? Bandana or G2 scarf?
I'm going to have to go with the G2 scarf. I'm rocking it here today. We already got the W out of the way, but got to give respect to the bandana. Have to.
We were actually just talking about the pentakill that happened earlier on the Ruckus, and that did come out of Purity, and I'm sure they're looking to make another stellar performance. So, Gore Miser, what did you think of their gameplay?
I think they showed a lot of synergy and specifically had a rockmonkey. Like, there was a ton of damage coming down from him. Him and Red X really did a ton to set their team up and get them rolling, kind of open up the points, the pushes, every single thing that they needed to do. But I feel like they didn't adapt as quickly. I think they got the ball rolling, but Gangstars were still kind of keeping them on their toes every step of the way.
Rockmonkey, a player so good, they showed him twice. But with that, what were your thoughts on his gameplay and the rest of the team?
Rockmonkey, we need to look forward to his play. He's going to be one of the big keys to either success or failure for Purity. I think you can also look at a few things like, is RuBBu going to get that Ruckus that he's so well known for? I know that's going to be a very highly contested pick. And on top of that, I think, can SK make Redix a little bit uncomfortable? Can they try to ban away a blaster, maybe pick the other one, and put Redix out of his comfort zone? I think that's going to be a pretty big key for SK as well.
And Frog Isle and Stonekeeper are going to be off of the table for this one. So with those bans being away, Cuss, do you have any idea of what strategies SK might be going for?
I'm pretty sure SK is going to go ahead and look for, the standard maps like a Jaguar Falls or something, just to get the comfort level out there. I don't expect to see any crazy maps at all during this set.
What about you, Gore?
I mean, speaking of standards, Matt, like taking 2 off the board, like Frog Isle and Stonekeep are some of the more comfortable maps that players tend to go to. So it'd be interesting. We always talk about, like Ice Mines and Frozen Guard as those maps that are like, hey, I'm going to try to trip you up. Of course, they've been coming in a lot more recently, but it'd be interesting to maybe see if one of these teams has that kind of in their pocket just to pull it out, like a Timber Mill would be baffling.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time that we're going to see Bright Marsh as the start-off map. So with that, we know that Einar is very comfortable there, and there are some other ones that tend to come out a little bit more. But, Cuss, are there any champions that you expect to see pretty much auto-locked?
Auto-locked today, Bomb King. If SK is willing to go ahead and look for that buck, I'm expecting to see that during this set. They might avoid it a little bit, but definitely the ruckus in this competition here. Bitey's ruckus versus RuBBu's ruckus. That's the key matchup here. I could see ruckus going very early here.
It was on Bright Marsh that RuBBu got the pentakill with the ruckus. So maybe that's going to be a fighting point, Gore.
It'll be interesting to see if they go in with it, because there was a lot of setup that brought them out for that. Inara getting taken down, I think, is really big here, and it kind of opens it up. There's a lot of setup for a ruckus to get something like a pentakill coming through, and it was one of those like perfect moment, perfect opportunity readings. I'm not sure Purity will be able to see the exact kind of replication to get it, but definitely still have a lot of impact if they choose to go back with them.
With Ainara and Bomb King taken off, Makoa locked in first. Nothing too out of the ordinary with this, but Androxus and Terminus will be the first lock-ins for SK.
I think that Androxus lock-in is really big. They're trying to scare Redx away from that Drogos. I think that's a great pick here, and let's see what Purity can respond with here.
Purity does like their Drogos. We did see that in their earlier set and perform fairly admirably with that. So with having somebody on the roster for SK that can go ahead and just single him out could be a bit of an issue. Gore, do you still expect them to go with a pick like that?
I wouldn't mind seeing it, because he was running the combustible. He was doing a lot of poke damage, which I think is what kind of helps set up the rest of the team, especially with something like a Shaolin on the roster. It's someone who is like, I'm going to get them low. You just kind of pick them off with your arrows and find them. You can see. Well, Bitey seems happy.
Yeah, a lot of enthusiasm there. By the looks of it, he's feeling pretty good about how things are going down. Do you think that this is pretty much exactly what SK is hoping for?
Yeah, I think SK is ecstatic with their draft. I see that Purity went with that Shaolin. I think the reason they went with that Shaolin is Andro and Shaolin are sort of RuBBu's go-to characters. They want to make sure that he's comfortable going into this set because he is the primary carry for them. But unfortunately, SK gets that ruckus, so we'll see what RuBBu's going to play here. It looks like the Fernando here, if I had to guess.
Yeah, Fernando actually being the last lock-in on the side of Purity. That is the thing. You let Ruckus slide on through, and Gore, I don't know. Purity might let that shake him a little bit.
It's something that can come down, especially because they saw how effective Ruckus can be on this map. They're like, okay, well, we just gave them really good setup for a Ruckus to come in and potentially go up against us, but they also have to worry about this Androxus, about the Terminus as well, who we saw, he's kind of had mixed performances, but he's still really strong, especially during kind of just the initial point capture, being able to kind of get in there and just smack people down.
So with Purity being locked in right here, Cuss, what are your thoughts on them?
Here comes the Zen. Look at that. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, is Vex going to have a good game here? If Vex can come out and throw those healing numbers up that we all know that he can do, I'm looking at this draft and I see SK coming out ahead.
Yeah, well, Vex, can he heal it? Let the casters tell us if he can. Take it away.
All right, here we are. Welcome so much, Paul Raby Santora, and how you been? Pretty here, Nick
Good,
Keogh.
good.
Haven't seen you all event.
I know. This is our first one together. It's
Yeah.
good stuff, man. And SK, their draft looking solid. The Zin, gonna be that question mark, but I think it's something solid that they're looking for. And this has been, I think, undisputed most successful map.
Sure, and what do you think about the Grok pick on the side of Purity? They're going to go double support, and that kind of was like the chink in the chain in the draft for me, at least for them.
Grok has worked here. For anyone outside of G2, it hasn't worked much except for here. So almost similar to the Zin, right? Where it can work here, and this is where I'm most confident in it working. But Grok, for me, I don't know. If you don't have the pip and this isn't a Grover map, I think this is a decent pick in those off-support categories, but I'm not completely sold on it.
On paper, who do you have taking this one?
SK.
SK, all right. Yeah, I have to go with SK as well. Just, once again, based on the whole PPL training regimen versus the PGS training regimen, it's just that, it's there.
They have one question mark in their draft ball, but they have 4 exclamation points, I think is the better way to put it. Bitey on Ruckus, stolzey on Androxus, Wi-Fi on Terminus, Vex 30 on Maldamba. Forget about it. Draft goes deep with the squad. They're prepared for everything.
Right.
And when Purity won, I mean, I saw RuBBu kind of running around, running to Envy, scrambling. Guys, help me. I need tips for SK.
Sure.
You know, it's just the preparation there is on another level for the PPL teams.
Well, we're going to ride out now to start this one off. SK Gaming versus Purity here on Bright Marsh. As we see rockmonkey, he's going to take around to the left-hand side here. He's going to find Bitey up top, but he'll
didn't
just take some
plant.
damage, Jay.
That's kind of weird. Normally we see Shalins go straight into planted, but staying on the move, not locking yourself down is going to be important. First blood does go to SK, Paul.
Yeah, that's right. RuBBu will fall. 27% Purity gets on the objective, and now it's PrinceDanny. He's going to hunt down rockmonkey. Good night. Takes him down to the death screen.
Just the hug of death. They had him pincered in a corner, nowhere for the rocks to go. They could smell what he was cooking, and they ate it on up. stolzey takes down RedX as well. Ooh, long-range hook, but does stolzey live?
Now, we've seen this, Nick, so many times in the PGS. William has a very good Makoe, has come out a lot of times in the PGS. PrinceDanny and SK, they're really prioritizing this Zin pick. They've gone to it a ton throughout this event.
Yeah, it's definitely Bitey inspired, but I think it's been executed by everyone, or it's been executed by Danny, all except one time we saw on Splitstone Quarry, actually, of all places. Bitey was the one to pull that out. That's where SK went for the triple DPS, and it hasn't made a massive splash. It's a new champion for Danny overall, but he is sort of that flanker. He's gotten a lot smarter about how he positions, how he takes fights, and those are all very important Zins. But one thing I noticed when they were picking, because I was actually sitting behind them for a game, was he was just like, let me make the play. They were kind of getting aggressive, almost that they didn't have that full trust in Danny Zin to be able to make the play just yet. And frankly, they're a little bit justified for doing that. He hasn't quite proven himself on it, but he's ready for it. He is confident in his Zin, and that's what makes me think it's going to be a power pick for SK.
I was more surprised that SK did not land Danny on Androxus. We saw him so much come out with that in the PPL. He was using Maeve as well as his counter, but Maeve's fallen off a little bit ever since the 9 lines cleanse. Cauterize disappeared there. We haven't seen any Maeve, but Danny just has not looked comfortable in the
I'll tell you
so
what,
far.
man, stolzey has played blasters for SK,
Yeah.
but he doesn't want to. I think at the
He
end of
doesn't
the
want to.
day, I don't want to throw bombs. I don't want to shoot rockets. I want
Right.
to shoot dudes with a gun.
Yeah.
And I think if any situation arises in which SK is going to be able to ban out Bomb King and they can grab an Androxus to deter or scare the other team away from Drogos, they are going to take that 110% of the time. stolzey and Danny would rather play those hit scan champions.
But someone on that, I mean, I know that stolzey has the Bomb King in his arsenal, but someone
does,
there
yeah.
has got to, I feel, pick up these blasters. I know Drogos has fallen
There's just
off
not
a
a
little bit.
love for it,
I know,
boy.
I know. But, like, see, you're right, though. stolzey, Victor, Strix, and then also now, all hit scan really in his arsenal as well. Do you feel like that's a weakness of the team?
Absolutely, Paul.
Has to be, right?
As always, this is something they haven't been strong with, something they're not in love with. They can do it, but they're not in love with it. That's
almost
not
like
their
forced.
comfort zone, and that has been and will continue to be something that hurts SK is the disdain for the blaster class.
Do you feel that they should make a push to learn this champion from here to HRX if they qualify?
They know it. I don't know if it's ever going to be something stolzey
Fair
loves
enough.
and is super comfortable with. You're seeing that if Bomb King is allowed, he's not going to be. Vex won't allow it to go 8th, but like against Mouse Sports, that chain reaction Bomb King going to Anjadoodle 8th, forget about it. That's a loss.
Fair enough, as we're taking a look now at Vex, and Vex has, some people have been saying he rivals Cuscudia is the best healer in NA, but unfortunately SK had fallen.
He's used to playing on 60 hertz. Put him on 140-40, he's a legend.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out. And what's going to be the key to Purity to beat SK if they do have a chance?
rockmonkey on his win conditions, as well as getting Red X where he is comfortable.
Okay, fair enough. 63% for SK Gaming. Purity are going to get onto the objective here and finally start calculating some damage as rockmonkey does find PrinceDanny here in the back lines. Danny looking for a flank.
Rock is an absolute nut. He's going to wait out this counter. He's going to land the shot. The planets aren't good enough because Danny goes straight into Billow.
stolzey, he'll take down William. Red X will actually find Bitey there. Dread Serpent did come out from Vex, and now it's Danny once again. He takes down rockmonkey, and he's targeting him, Nick. We've seen it multiple times.
To the back line, he could start going off here. Danny on the Zin has the potential for it. He found rockmonkey, and he's scaring away the rest of this Purity lineup off the high ground. This is getting down to the wire, though, Paul.
99-96. Purity's actually in the lead right now. They might take this first point, but Bitey is going to have something to say about that as he enters Hexafire. Looking to take down rockmonkey. He'll get out of there, but Bitey gets taken out also.
Bitey does not get a lot for that Hexafire. He couldn't decide on what target he wanted to go for. The overtime is expiring. Wi-Fi is about to fall.
That's right, as Reanimate isn't online and not activated yet. rockmonkey and RuBBu wind up finding 2, and SK Gaming, they're going to lose the first objective here to Purity.
If SK Gaming lose a map, lose the first
That
map
would be
to
crucial.
Purity, that could crush them. I think morale-wise, Danny keeping him on a high horse is going to be important through this set. And not opening the set with him on a power pick is something that is definitely a risk for SK.
What just really hurts, go back into it again. Maeve was a power pick for him, and it's gone now. It's not there. He has to flex over to Zin as we see Wi-Fi. He'll take down RuBBu there. RockMonkey will walk into the Dread Serpent. SK Gaming, they're looking for a defensive stop here. 153 remain on this payload as Purity is chugging along, but they're going to get held up a little bit.
And they do let the... I think RockMonkey, man, he just commands so much attention in the draft. And what the big thing is against this matchup in particular is RockMonkey's power picks are stolzey and Danny's power picks for the most part.
Right.
The Droxus, the Shaolin, and the Eevee. It almost feels like he is the Dragon Ball Z evolution of the two.
Well, the thing is that, maybe SK Gaming, as Tooney takes down Bitey here. Bitey's fallen a couple times now. RockMonkey cannot get the Shaolin. When he's on Shaolin, as we see the Tempest actually it's going to be the reanimate here. RockMonkey in the back line. They're going to take down Wi-Fi right away, or at least try to. 3 are down for SK Gaming. Nick and 113 remain. Purity might score this one.
Into the planet he goes. RockMonkey's still firing away on an 8 streak, looking for more. There's 3 members currently alive for SK Gaming. Vex has just respawned, but this is it. They can't afford to lose anything else.
And Droxus, stolzey on the right-hand side here. RockMonkey smells blood, and he'll find one. Now it's Tooney who'll go down as well. And it is RockMonkey with the heat haze, and he is going off contested. 50 seconds remain. 4 are down, and that's going to do it for Purity.
Good streaks coming out from them down the stretch. The Rock, you can't stop him. Today has been his day. He has had, I think, one of the best North American EVs that we've seen across both PPL and PGS teams. He's been incredible stuff. Smart cancel there. That was a big moment because he couldn't find a target for that Hexafire, Paul.
And look at RuBBu, Nick. 42K here on the damage charts. He's leading by 9,000. It's 5 members of Purity that are on kill streaks right now. SK Gaming, they look flustered. They look a little discombobulated. But this time around, it's actually not Prince Danny. He's 3-3 right now, at least at a 1.0 KD.
Yeah, I expect him, as long as he's playing smart on Zin, he's not going to be dying a lot. It's how much is he getting done? Is that distraction value being worth it? We've seen it once. He shut down right after actually that replay when RockMonkey canceled his plan and came back into Slave Bitey. That's when you saw Danny get to the back line, shut RockMonkey down, and then start to get some distraction value among the remainder of Purity. That type of stuff, especially with a low frag slash line, is going to be important. Distraction value is nearly everything, but they got to find an answer for RockMonkey.
If I'm SK, I am not prioritizing the Bomb King ban. I'm prioritizing Shaolin to either be picked or banned, and then drafting the other, and then sticking him on Eevee. Still nasty on that champion.
I think, yeah, man. RuBBu has...
Oh, RuBBu, that's right.
He's been looking good on the Bomb King, but best on the Drogos.
Right.
Drogos being the more counterable of the 2 picks, I think that's good for SK, man. You can counter out the Drogos. You can maybe let it go, put stolzey on Bomb King. You can still put Danny on Androxus if you want, but Bomb King seems like it could be a play for SK. And I honestly, thinking back, I don't think they've run it at all this tournament yet.
Yeah, no, SK Gaming,
and it's land ping too, so it's like stolzey, I feel like you'd be pretty strong on it here.
The thing that's scary about SK is that, first off, if they lose this set for whatever reason, it will be the biggest upset of the tournament. I think so, at least. SK Gaming was supposed to win this
They
thing.
were the #1 seed in North America. You can't forget that.
Yeah. And as we start now into the second round, 10% for Purity. Bitey, he's going to head up top again, but the same thing planted will come out this time for RockMonkey, though.
Hear the spite in the back line. Danny trying to find the first frag. It looks like it went on to RockMonkey, but he'll be okay for now. He's going to retain his 11 streak and his HP.
23% come out there. It's 27. Now it's Purity on the objective. 30% to 30%, but it's rising. Both members of SK Gaming are very weak in the back line, and William will take down Prince Danny to start things off.
There's going to be a totem coming out to keep this Grok nice and healthy. Look at all these streak numbers from Purity. RuBBu pushing forward. Bitey regards this man as one of the great tanks. The Dread Serpent comes out, but RuBBu stays alive.
Immortal's going to come out for RuBBu. 72% now on the objective. Wi-Fi's going to get on it, but RockMonkey, the twitch shots coming out from him, and a nice one on the stolzey. Oh, and then whiffle. Wi-Fi, whatever you want to call him, and it could be a third, and it will be.
Tooney gonna get credit for that kill, but it feels like RockMonkey putting in the work. There's another one. That could have potentially been a quadra kill for RockMonkey, who roars forth on a 16 streak.
Nick, we can't ignore this anymore. Prince Danny does not look comfortable on the Zin. Might not be his fault. He might be forced on that due to the draft of the rest of the members of SK Gaming, but it is not working out. SK Gaming, they look discombobulated.
You can take maybe the Shaolin and the Andro for Danny and Stolzey. They can both run either of those champions.
Right.
You get Rockmonkey onto his third Eevee, which albeit still has looked good.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're having that type of day, you're just having that type of day.
I mean, he was hitting Eevee shots in the air. He does come out. He's looking to take down Stolzey here. Will probably connect, and it will. Oh, man, this might be a 4-0 in favor of Purity.
They're looking forward, trying to find the kills there. Shots coming out from Rockmonkey, 19 streak. He's looking to break 20.
Yeah, I tweeted this before earlier in the day. Rockmonkey and Skozas, in my opinion, are the two free agents coming out of North America and EU respectively to be into the PPL if you need some.
Rockmonkey, man, he is absolutely a nutter right now. This could be the final team fight. SK come roaring in Wi-Fi, trying to make a statement.
Rockmonkey hasn't been touched. He's on a 20 kill streak right now. Nick, 124
There he
remains.
is.
Finally, Stolzey takes him down. SK have got to do a better job at finding the Shaolin. He's not too hard to locate, but they got to get him.
And look how easy that team fight is after
It
that.
changed, right.
Look at how
Right.
easy that team fight. I was saying, I never made the comment, but I was thinking it to myself, is that this Purity draft, outside of Rockmonkey, doesn't have a lot of frag potential. You're looking at the Makoa that is going to do good damage, but most importantly, pull somebody into a terrible spot.
Right.
But if they can just continue to find Rockmonkey in the backline, I think these fights gets very easy for SK.
And I have to agree. 50 seconds remain now. Dread Serpent from the Vex is going to come out. Rockmonkey's going to find two, though. Whiffle as well as Stolzey are going to fall. And, man, this could go all the way, Nick.
He has to come back. 80% on the Heat Haze
boy.
Paul. That's really important. If he can find Vex here, they do.
Oh, and it's 85 and rising. Williams going to get a kill. Rockmonkey gets another. He's going right into planted. So intelligent coming out from Rockmonkey. It'll be Androxus to falls. Reanimate up. No, it's not.
Withdrawing now, not 27%, 96%.
Oh, no.
They don't even
Oh,
need
no.
it. Purity with the 4-0 sweep on Bright Marsh. Take game one off the North American first seed.
Well, Nick, you might have written the story. 4-0 to start things off for Purity was the win condition in your mind for Purity to take it, and they just started it off.
Absolutely, man. 18-3, 63,000 damage. Grok gets a lot of free damage because it bounces around, blah, blah, blah. That's not important. What is important is all 63,000 of that damage from Rock. Not to take anything away from Red X. I mean, it always helps, but Rockmonkey, he was finding the frags. Williams 6-1 as well on the Makoa, only dying once. It's pretty incredible. 2 20 streaks, almost 3 RuBBu, making it north of 19, but they got to find an answer for this man right here.
He's a problem. And the one thing I want to note there in the scores tab was the assist column. The assist column was bouncing 15 to 20 across the charts here, besides Rockmonkey, who was the one cleaning up all those assists. When you took it down over to SK, they were around 5, 7, 3, 4. I mean,
They weren't getting many kills, period, man.
They just got 4-0'd against a PGS team. People were saying Gang Stars were the EU team to watch out for coming into it, but Purity, they're representing North America well.
Incredible stuff. Finds the big shutdown onto Stolzey. Slays Wi-Fi. This is where he could have almost gotten the quadra kill, just missed
Oh, man.
that last hit on Bitey, and then he does find Danny here. Big, big plays from Rockmonkey, and I think, you know, with this much power pick overlap between Stolzey, Danny, and Rockmonkey, you maybe have to look to get him where he's most uncomfortable, which is traditionally, from what we've seen, the Eevee, but even that is looking good today.
Yeah, the lesser of two evils still might be an evil in the end of the day.
The lesser of three evils.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
But you know what, though? I would deal with that, because if you get beat by Purity and Rockmonkey is on Eevee, I mean, hey, I'll take that, knowing that I had Prince Danny on Shaolin, knowing or Androxus, and vice versa to the other one over there, the Stolzey. But if you just keep giving him Shaolin or Androxus, and he just does that again and again and again, I mean, that's a sad story to go home to.
We're going to be moving on now to map number 2. It'll be Jaguar Falls. Similar start to the last set that we just watched, but there is map similarities here. It's closed in. We actually saw the Tremors and Nara come out from NTBs. A great pickup. Worked well for them. Do we see that picked up here? Maybe. Terminus was the main priority selection for SK, but Purity, man. I mean, this has been a tournament of upsets, but I think this would take it to another level. You're right.
Yeah, I think so. SK coming in that 1 seed again, and I mean, Fnatic also falling the VP, and
that storyline of Virtus Pro, while the underdogs, I mean, we took it down in our caster notes.
yeah.
It almost feels like the underdog storyline was lost along the way, because after they beat Fnatic, we were like, holy crap, how is anyone going to beat Virtus Pro? This isn't necessarily the case here with Purity. I don't know what anyone was really expecting from any of these PGS teams. There was a couple of interviews that we did that some PPL players gave them some credit. Oh, maybe we'll see them take a game or two off of a PPL team, but never was it off of SK Gaming that we thought would be giving up games to a PGS team.
I mean, granted, you know, the Virtus Pro Fnatic was the 1 to the 4, but this is the 1 to the unranked. I mean, this is a deep run here. I mean, granted, it's early now. I'm not taking anything away from SK, but I feel like those losses yesterday have crippled SK's mentality to some degree, and it's going to take a big win here to bounce back. This is one thing I want to talk about real quick. Sorry to cut you off, but I want to hear the trash talk from SK. And the reason why...
I never had a reason to.
I know, but it builds the energy, the momentum in the player. When you're just sitting there and...
I'm sure they would try to if they could, but did they have an opportunity to, Paul, at any moment during that first game? I don't think so. And now, Mako is going to be banned out. Torvald taken off the charts as well. So Bomb King, Torvald, or Bomb King, excuse me, Bomb King, Terminus, and Inara, those are the big ones I'm looking out for out of the gate. And SK, I think, wise up and take the king.
That'll be stolzey, as he'll be on it. But now Purity, Inara, Shaolin here. Do they go Genos over that? Oh, there's one.
They go Inara. I think Inara...
Uh-oh.
See, this is okay. It just depends on stolzey's performance, because this actually happened to G2. They got Inara tournaments, and I was like, oh, they're effed.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen these two take over the tournament, but we discounted what Chain Reaction Bomb King could do. Evil Eye cut them down. And if stolzey can have that type of performance on and against those two very important tank characters, I think SK are fine.
And it's very possible Bomb King, like you said, can counter both of these characters with that chain reaction style that has been such a flourishing legendary throughout the course of the PPL. As SK now are on the clock, let's see what picks come out here. I think they need to move away from the Xin, but we'll see unless it's Bitey playing Xin. Now that's a different story, but then they have to run solo tank, clocks out. They're going to go for nano prioritization, and they'll pick up the Maldumba for Vex.
Wow.
That's a weird one.
That's just an early for Nano, but you know, you got to think about it. We're deep in the frontline pool already. Makoa ban, Torvald ban, Inara pick, Terminus pick. So it's that or a Ruckus. And I don't think SK anticipate Purity going any more frontliners.
Yeah.
They could maybe go the Ruckus, but picking that up into a chain reaction Bomb King, it's not a great look for them.
And it was actually such a smart idea, because Purity probably think, we're on the clock, do we ban out Bomb King? But if we take the Torvald, and then we let them get one pick.
I think you go Andro Ruckus here.
Andro Ruckus, that makes sense. But look at this, Purity. They're going to get the Inara, the Terminus, the Genos, and the Shaolin. I mean, they're playing the tier list right now.
They definitely are. That's a good way to put it. SK with their last two picks on the board. Ruckus would be a good grab for Bitey. I know Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, when we have seen Fernando picked up for SK, I think it has been Bitey traditionally. But SK, they're going to have to put their champion pools to the test, at least on the frontline aspect, which isn't an often tested fact.
Yeah, I have to agree. 4 seconds remain now in this draft. What will SK finish it off? There's the Andro, and it will be the Ruckus. So you were dead on with that one, Nick. Purity now on the clock. What do you think rounds off this composition?
I think, you know, they're obviously good on the frontline front. Red X, it's the question of can we run the Drogos into this Androxus? We've been seeing a lot of Fusillade Drogos here. And while it is one of the most famous Androxus players in the world, if Red X is having some type of day, he could shut it down, but they're not going to tempt fate. They're going to go for the Grok.
Rockmonkey brings a little monkey with him?
I guess so.
All right, a little bit of...
He's the rock, and that's the monkey.
There you go. As we're going to see these two compositions, Grok coming out here for Purity. This has really been a North American thing so far. EU has not really... They've run it, but it hasn't been successful. As to where on North America, we've seen it ran here, and it has been successful. G2 yesterday and Grok on Purity today.
I think resilience has to be big for SK. The slow from Terminus is the least of their worries, but it's definitely something to think about. The stun from Shaolin setting up planted kills is a big one. You're looking at the seismic crash, and I think pretty importantly, at least for whoever's playing this Androxus, I highly anticipate it to be Danny. It's going to be the Void Grip that slows him down a lot in the backline. So resilience, going to be a good thing to pick up for SK this game.
Well, as we were waiting, taking a look there at Bitey, that coach, the coach here for SK. And he's even got the flag in the bandana today. He's firing off on all fronts. Jaguar Falls will be the map. It's 1-0. Purity lead this one so far. SK, they need a rebuttal here. If you fall down 2-0,
There is a lot
That's demoralizing.
on stolzey's shoulders right now, but a very LAN experienced player, largely regarded as a superstar in this scene. He, on the chain reaction Bomb King, has to be big to take down William on the Terminus and RuBBu on the Inara, who is Mother's Grace and Undying. It's the tankiest of the tanky lineup here for Purity.
Yeah, the Undying, the husband and wife there, Inara and Terminus, as they'll be on it. Now, Tooney, there was 1 week where Tooney was not in the lineup for Purity. They had renamed in the PGS. It was basically the same four, but they added Tooney. And ever since that edition, I mean, they have looked great. As we're seeing this one start off now over to Jaguar Falls.
Funny enough, Tooney once a very great Bomb King player back in the day, actually, and kind of coming up. He was looking great until Evil Eye came into the scene and sort of took that crown in North America. The Grumpy Bomb comes out, 15% for Purity on the point, and it's up to stolzey to displace the two stones that Purity have placed on the point.
Wi-Fi using that American flag shield. I love it. All themed. Prince Danny. He'll find rockmonkey, and this is what we said the key was, Nick. Find rockmonkey early, and the fight's there. And then look, Bitey takes down Tooney, and it goes the way of SK game.
Danny has to slay rockmonkey, and stolzey has to kill everyone else. But if they can do that, then it'll be a very clear SK victory.
Before, it was a 4-0 in favor of Purity on the last map. SK Gaming faring much better this time around as they have the initiary 57%. They'll sit on the objective. Purity are going to have to find a way in, but stolzey on the Bomb King, he's already on a 2-streak.
It's going to be difficult. Bitey extremely low. Bitey dead. And now it's an opportunity for Purity to come roaring back into this point as they have the take-back potential.
And pass comes out there from Inara. Terminus on the point as well. 60% now as Purity aren't far off. And in fact, one quick kill early might secure it, but stolzey's found rockmonkey, and they're looking to take him down. Genos with the heal through the wall.
Grumpy Bomb comes out. stolzey choosing to take the 1v1, but he gets stunned out. So tanky, he's going to cancel it out. Trapped in the corner, Rock with nowhere to go.
And while that was happening, Purity snagged the objective. 2:23 remain. Now Purity has it. Tooney takes down stolzey. William takes down Bitey. Oh no, Purity, they're pushing along again.
That was all SK until Bitey got picked off. That was the big turning point in that round. He got a little too aggressive on the zone, and the coach falls short, needs to hit the gym and tighten up those mistakes.
2 minutes remain. As we're seeing Purity just push this payload along due to the shortness of the map. Dread Serpent comes out as well. William very low there on the Terminus. You see the silhouette. Prince Danny will take him down. And now they're coming for rockmonkey. And he's going to have that shot in again, so a big comfort zone from him. Payload, 50%.
146 on the clock. SK Gaming with a couple of ultimates. They're going to hold back Purity, at least for now. Rocco taking a lot of damage. He's going to hit the spray, though. Let us know that he is still feeling good.
134. Payload has started to regress. And Nick, you know, what's the mind state if you're SK Gaming?
I don't think it's good, Paul. I don't think it's good. They go out 4-0. They make a big mistake in losing control of that first objective, and they're going to go down 1-0 here. SK Gaming mentally will be extremely tested today.
Do you think it's from the lack of LAN experience on Prince Danny's side?
Not necessarily that, but just the lack of LAN success overall from this SK roster that has been at basically every single LAN, but not finding much success, if ever even getting out of the first round.
Well, at the end of the day, 60 seconds remain. Payload has regressed to about 45% of the way now. Hey, playing in your room is a lot different than playing here. Yeah, people screaming, cheering. And so far, it has been very quiet on the side of SK. Until they can get a map here, I have to agree with you. There's nothing really to talk about. They've got to let the play define themselves right now.
Terminus going to the objective. He's going to get on there and start swinging away at Bitey, who's all alone. Wi-Fi very far away. Bitey is caught out in a bad spot. He will fall.
Right, Vex now dives to the back line. He's going to try and keep up Wi-Fi here. Prince Danny's now going to flank around the left-hand side. William pressing to try to stop SK game. They want this payload going. stolzey, he's going to have a big window, though. stolzey will find one. And now he's looking for a second. stolzey actually is playing the Bomb King quite nicely.
But you heard it. Terminus rises once more, and this offense is far from over for Purity. They've got 12 seconds on the clock and probably one fight to win.
SK Gaming congregated around their spawn point now. rockmonkey, though, he's withdrawing. He's looking for one. He knows someone's behind him, but he can't find it. There's a Dread Serpent now. Prince Danny and Bitey will each take down one. And due to the numbers now in those late-end game kills, it could be overtime coming out here as a win for SK Gaming.
Ooh, and it looks like it will be. Danny rotating in at the perfect moment to find a combined total of 3. Hits the spray as well. And his mentality will be extremely important. So a great way to end that round. SK tie it back up 1-1, and they have to swip the momentum around here shortly.
stolzey I mean, even if SK is trash talking, he never is. He's always just like stone-faced.
He kind of used to be. The trash talk has definitely fallen off from stolzey. But I guess that's what happens when you team with Cuss Cutie back in the day. I mean, it rubs off on you a little bit. But he has been a much more quiet soul at LAN nowadays.
We haven't seen it this event so far. Prince Danny with a nice double kill there off the accursed arm. And as we take a look at the damage charts and items right here, it's actually still RuBBu's leading the charts. rockmonkey's not far off, but he hasn't had the same success as he did last game. It's a 1-1 tie heading down to the second round.
rockmonkey headed into Nimble. Danny into Nimble 1 as well, trying to outmaneuver each other. That's going to be a very key matchup. Prince Danny on Androxus versus rockmonkey on Shaolin. Last round, it went the way of Prince Danny.
All right, as most members of Purity now are congregating in the back line. Ultimates are coming out here. I heard there a Hexafire in the back line, as well as a Tempest came out there from the Grok. Tooney does find stolzey here. No one has gotten on the objective. They're not even worried about it. SK Gaming finally head on over there. Cursed Arm also comes out. Prince Danny not getting anyone with that Accursed Arm, but the damage comes out onto an arm.
Yeah, he finds all 4 shots onto a Nara, but cut in half with the Mother's Grace, doing about 450 to 500 damage. Bitey's going to be stoned out, but he does have his shield available to him. rockmonkey is going to be under a lot of pressure now with the Nara falling.
Purity locked. Oh, nice shot from rockmonkey right into the planted off an impale shot, excuse me. 30% for SK Gaming and rising here. Purity have to find a way in, but now it's SK Gaming that are finally finding their stride and calculating some of this objective control.
They've got a Nara. I think you collapse on the Sonara right here. Bitey is in a good spot to take her down. stolzey as well, but rockmonkey, if you give him enough time, he will find kills.
And that's what he's doing right now. It's Bomb King, Prince Danny. We'll find RuBBu here, so that's a big kill. Wi-Fi and also stolzey now are in the back line, and they're going for the Fernando. Oh, but they're going to find stolzey. They're both weak back there. Prince Danny coming to say something about it.
Danny has to go big here. He's going to take down rockmonkey, but not before the Rock was able to stop Wi-Fi.
Yeah, 60% here, and so far Purity have 55 as well. Prince Danny finding 2, and he's finding his stride as well.
Going into the back line, getting Void Gripped away. That's why resilience is going to be so important for Danny. I think he needs to get this online. That's the 2 times in 2 lives that we have seen Void Grip completely end what he was looking to do.
Well, it's 63%. Purity will take back the objective. SK Gaming now forced to back away, regroup. They want their team with them, as they're going to have one more chance. But right now, Purity do have the objective held, and now it's SK Gaming pushing in on the objective, and we'll see if Wi-Fi can interrupt it. Another Hexafire from Bitey.
Oh, the wall goes up, but it's not good. It just lifts Bitey up, gives him a better vantage point. Bitey avoids it through time and space as well.
Oh, and just like that, Prince Danny finds 2. Danny now is really coming together. Triple kill for Prince Danny, as it looks like the overtime meter will come out, though. stolzey gets another, and SK Gaming, they look to take this objective.
stolzey with 2, Danny with 3. They both succeed in their win conditions, and SK, it's an easy fight from there. And you gotta say, it's pretty unfortunate that that wall wasn't good enough. Though the Hexafire doesn't find any kills, it probably fought a lot of disruption and forced people away from the objective and into awkward spots.
Undying comes out from William 355 over there on the left-hand side, but he eats about 50% of his life just during the resurrect. So far, Nick, stolzey has looked great on the bomb kick.
Absolutely, and though he doesn't like playing it, I made sure to mention he can play it, and it looks good playing it. And as long as stolzey and SK can rely on what has been an incredibly impactful pick, I think they'll continue to do well.
SK Gaming, they're trying to push on, but we're going to remain with stolzey, as now it's just the damage onto William. rockmonkey will find a kill onto Bitey. 143 remain. Payload has stopped just a little bit. Tempest comes out here, and Purity, they're looking for a defensive hold late in the round.
A lot of shots coming out from Rocco, who has his ultimate available. Wi-Fi's in a rough spot here. He's going to do his best to try and take Tooney down with him, but he won't. He'll be cleaned up cleanly alongside. William gets credit for that kill, and they send 2 home from SK for free.
Can you imagine if Purity qualifies in this event?
It'd be nuts.
It would be insane. 117 remain now. SK Gaming, they're looking much better this time around. It could be to attest that the Jaguar Falls map has come out. Maybe a comfort zone for them, Nick.
108 on the clock. No ultimates except for the Dread Serpent available for SK, but they're getting close to some. So are Purity. So look for a lot of ultimates to come out. Here comes the Dread Serpent from Vex.
It's going to be also Heat Haze coming out as a counter to that to cause some pressure here for Purity on the other side. stolzey finds him, but he can't lock him down. Bitey very low, having to go behind the rock now. 47 seconds remain. rockmonkey dodging the Grumpy Bomb, won't get stunned out. And it's a 1-for-1 trade from both of these teammates now. Teams rather. Uh-oh, the Planted comes out. Prince Danny's going to find rockmonkey.
No cooldowns for rockmonkey, but he's able to skirt around the side here. Danny's hunting him. Wi-Fi's hunting him. The fireball connects, and Wi-Fi is in his face. Rocco with nowhere to go. He's going to fall to Danny.
SK Gaming has done a much better job at locating rockmonkey, and actually, you know, they have taken him out almost every time now. rockmonkey has not had the same success from the first round really at all, and we're noticing something here by Purity. You take down rockmonkey, their lineup's not really that scary after that.
He's got Danny on a comfort pick, hunting him down, and you're right. Whereas SK Gaming, they've got, frankly, a Ruckus can be a win condition for Unify, and Droxus and Bomb King absolutely are. Purity, outside of the Shaolin, it's tough for them to take a fight.
Seismic Crash does come out there from Inara as RuBBu is trying to take down someone here. Tempest as well, there's the healing. They're trying to kill this Grok. Grok stays alive, actually, Bitey very low, and he's going right into the Hex of Fire. He's trying to take down anyone with him before he falls, but it'll be a double kill for Purity as this overtime meter has come out, and it might go their way.
Largely absorbed, though, by the Power Siphon. Another shot from rockmonkey's good. That looks like 3 for Rocco. He takes down Bitey, then picks up the double kill. And it's looking good on all fronts for Rocco and the guys at Purity. They are very tanky, and that's what they need, though, with just one win condition in the Shaolin.
We'll take a look now at Prince Danny. And we're going to see him have play after play on this Androxus. This is one of the things I had talked about yesterday, Nick. Why was he not on this character more? I know they were giving it over to stolzey, but you know,
I think when it comes down to when they have Andro and Shaolin or Andro and Eevee, then it's stolzey's turn to play Androxus because Danny does take priority on Shaolin and Eevee.
All right, well, the damage charts now have changed a little bit. Granted, now it's going to be still rockmonkey as well as RedX who take over those top slots, but the next 4 are occupied by SK Gaming.
Yeah, and it's not by much. Danny's gone into Illuminate as well instead of Resilience, so he's really prioritizing hunting down rockmonkey in his invisibility. A lot of the playmaking potential comes off the back of this invisibility. You can see the withdraw opening up with 1,250 damage.
Yeah, that Poppy Bomb, though, saved. But William actually gets 2 with 1 swing. Massacre Axe, 700 damage. Chunk, as it's still William in the back line, and he's going for another. Reanimate's coming online.
Now it has to be perfectly
Oh,
timed.
boy!
Slither, no, Vex doesn't have the cooldown available. William picks up another 2 with his ultimate.
Now he's chasing down Bitey. 78% for Purity, and this looks like the story of the Renegades. 2-2 tie, but in one round, Purity might swing it away. They're going to get an uncontested objective.
While William does go down, he got more than he was expected of. 2 kills with 1 swing of the axe and 2 more kills. The more surprising of the scenarios for me is 2 frags with that ultimate. Vex, he was staying so close to it. I thought he was fine because I thought he had a slither up. I was like, oh, there's no way Vex is staying this close to this ultimate. He has slither up, but he didn't. And he wasn't able to get away fast enough.
But I know that range of reanimate is very tricky because I thought Vex was actually safe. He was right on the edge there.
It was close,
right? And then it's like, wow, nope, you're still going to go down. I mean, Vex was only 1 shot anyway. 50% now. This payload is chugging along. Purity, rockmonkey now on a 7 streak. We haven't seen this in the earlier rounds. Oh, this is going to be a battle, but it might go to rockmonkey.
Rock's coming out here with the arrows from the distance. Now this payload is in a position where if Purity can find one more team fight win, they will take this game, and Bitey falls, but not before he takes William down with him.
They locate Prince Danny. Prince Danny coming for a left-hand flank. They're now trying to take down this Grok. A cursed arm coming out for Danny. Wi-Fi will take down RedX, but RuBBu actually takes down Prince Danny, and it's still anyone's game, Nick.
Yeah, big shot from the withdrawal. Working his way through Wi-Fi shield. He'll get healed back up. Bitey healthy up here on the high ground.
RuBBu.
So far on the Ruckus, he's made a couple of mistakes. Some weird ultimates getting picked off. Bitey's Ruckus hasn't looked the same this game.
I have to agree with you. Maybe look to change for something else there. Master Axe is going to come swinging away here as the Nimble is online now for William. There's an Immortal, but Prince Danny will find Tooney, and this might be a defensive hold, but there's 55 seconds left, and Purity are going to have another chug at it.
Triple kill for Danny. He's looking to make that a Quadrico. Headed to the back line. stolzey capstones that fight. SK Gaming, the dynamic duo of Danny and stolzey, have been really coming in clutch for SK.
40 seconds remain. Palo at 90%. It has started to regress very slowly. Purity going to have one more swing at this thing, but SK Gaming are hoping for a defense. They used a lot of ultimates now. They do have Hex of Fire online for Bitey, but other than that, nothing's really close. They could be setting up for a round 4. Purity, though, they have a couple online.
And that's what's scary. Purity have a big decision for them to make. If they can save some of these ultimates and just push it to a 3-3 with a massive ultimate advantage, they could look to, how do you say, Virtus Pro SK.
Fair enough. They're targeting Bitey as well. Bitey's going to have to disengage, and Grok will find him, but Bitey was a pure bait there. Here comes a withdraw now. 0 remain as rockmonkey's trying to take down. No, but Prince Danny finds him with the Illuminate.
Danny with a massive frag. Keeps stolzey alive as well. That's the big key for this fight. Bitey's already picked up 2, and he's looking for more.
Reanimate might come out here. No, it looks like Purity will hold on to it. They will. So there's a success here for SK Gaming. It's 3-3. The only problem is that now it might be SK Gaming in the driver's seat as Seismic Crash was used on the side, as well as the Heat Haze was used for Purity. Those are 2 big ones.
Yeah, big moments there in that final round. If Danny doesn't kill Rockmonkey and Rock is able to find the kill on a stolzey, that is a very different round. It could have been the last one of the game there. You can see the 2-for-1 with the axe. William goes down, but does he really? Nope, he comes on. This is what I'm talking about. You see the way Vex was backing up, and then he just kind of took 3 steps in for some reason? I thought it's because he had the slither up guaranteed, but he doesn't, and he ends up falling there. It was very weird.
Yeah, I saw the silhouette. I thought Vex was the further member of SK Gaming, but he was actually pretty darn close there to the reanimate. Now it's the final round as we head on in. SK Gaming versus Purity. Will Purity 2-0 SK Gaming, the #1 seed in the PPL, or will it be SK Gaming to finally regroup? This first fight will tell a lot.
That's a lot of damage opening up onto Williams. stolzey finds another 2 bomb and takes 3,000 damage off of Williams' life bar before the fight even begins.
Danny and stolzey are each going to find one. Danny finds another now, and this looks like to be going the way of SK Gaming, but Purity does have 30% on the point.
Shock Pulse is bouncing all around this fight, but this is what I'm talking about. Grok has a ton of damage, sure, but Danny's not even... He got hit by 2 of those, and it doesn't even really matter. Look at the life bars of SK Gaming. This Grok damage, it looks good on paper, but I'm telling you, the impact for it is just not there.
I agree with you. 70%, however, for SK Gaming. Now they're on the kill streaks. William, though, he's going to come on. Look to take down the Fernando. Shatter Falls coming up top. Very weak here. William going to take down Whiffle. Prince Danny's going to go into the Accursed Arm, but he's not going to find anyone.
He found some good damage onto Tooney, but forced him out of the fight. Doesn't really matter when you're Genos. You heal through walls.
That's right. Now it's stolzey and Prince Danny, though. Prince Danny might go down. Nether Steps do come out, but RuBBu's tracking him down. stolzey finds Redix. Here comes the King Bomb. stolzey might get another, and he does on rockmonkey.
Massive heals from Vex, keeping stolzey alive there. That was critical. 81% for SK Gaming on the point, and they, against all odds, have fought their way back out of hell.
It looks like they got it, and they do. The kills came through at the right time for SK Gaming. They pushed Purity out. And now SK, it was a hard-fought win. It wasn't easy.
These are close.
Very close, but at least they come away with it.
These are incredibly close games, much closer than I think probably most people here expected them to be. 15-7 for stolzey's King, 23-7 for Danny's Androxus. Massive damage for them all. And look, 138k damage, top damage in the game on the Grok, but 2-9. The impact for me is just not there with this character, man.
Nah, and a lot of it is from that passive bouncing from Shock Pulse and things like that. Rockmonkey as well, not the same stat line from last game. He did put in 20.
Vex, man, 260k in a 21-minute game. That is over 10,000 healing per minute. Incredible stats. And a lot of that time, the 21-28, is spent in base, in between rounds, in between spawns. So you're looking at way more than 10k a minute. But Danny, the Prince himself, looking like royalty on his primary Androxus, 23-7. He was a clutch for them.
Yeah, affected 32 kills with the 9 assists there. We finally see some nice Prince Danny play coming out there. stolzey actually had a big impact on the Bomb King.
Absolutely.
I'm still surprised why he doesn't. And what you said with the Vex, even combine the healing for Purity, Vex is still 90,000 over. Vex is the one support in the game that I have seen hit over 250,000 healing multiple times, if not every other game.
I mean, he was incredible. stolzey was kept alive in the most critical moment there, right down the end. As he's winding up that King Bomb, if that goes Rockmonkey's way, I honestly thought Rocco had it with the planet. He was chunking away at stolzey. Right here was another big duel. stolzey was able to keep Rock pinned in the corner there, but critical heals from Vex to keep stolzey alive, as well as critical kills sometimes. That one time that Danny rotated in that allowed him to keep stolzey alive was a big moment. And stolzey took every opportunity he had because he had a lot of weight on his shoulders, specifically to get through Terminus and Inara.
Well, if he doesn't have the game that he had that game, and Purity goes up 2-0, I mean, SK Gaming backs against the wall. They have to reverse sweep to win it.
Yeah.
But SK Gaming does take that one on Jaguar Falls. That's been a comfort zone for them for a while, as the third map is going to be Frozen Garden. This is going to be Purity's pick.
This is interesting now. Grover has not been a big part of SK's arsenal, and I think that could end up hurting them slightly here, especially because when you look at Purity, I think they can run this. It might be Red X here. He's been really deterred off of his Drogos and his Bomb King. Hasn't been in a comfort pick, hasn't been in a powerful position in this set, and that's what I want to see change. In the first set, we saw both he and rockmonkey with the potential to go off. When it wasn't one, it was the other. That's the difference this time around. Purity have only had one answer.
Sure. I mean, Red X has gone the Grok, which has been kind of a maybe pick for some of us here. The extra healing has helped. The damage has definitely helped, no matter which way you slice it up. The damage has been there. The impact has not. But the question is if he does flex over to Drogos, because he had it online. He had the Drogos there, but he didn't go with it.
It's so hard. I mean, the big thing is you look at the ability for other teams to flex to things like Pip and Grover and have them carry games for them. Not saying, and that's the difference, right? Very few teams can do all three, having those off supports, the Grok, the Grover, and the Pip. Most of the time, it's pick two, but I think in the instance where you can pick Pip on the Bright Marshes and the Jaguar Falls, when Grover can't be a go-to for you, that's when it really helps to have the Pip around.
Well, neither of those have come out for Purity just yet. SK Gaming, they're taking their time with this band. They don't know who to go with.
Also, Buck. Maybe we see either Rock or Red X on Buck. Shaolin's got to go. Rock's had it too many times, and there is that element of just building momentum with one champion over and over again.
Well, there definitely is, and their thinking is we take out rockmonkey's best champion. We just dealt with them one game actually on it, and now if we take it away totally, it might just switch up the momentum, like you said, in their favor.
The next thing that I'm worried about, though, from Purity is the Eevee. We've seen that do very well on Frozen Guard, and while not true, Eevee's like you pick her up to counter certain things. It's never really a plug-and-play champion where it's just going to be good against anything. SK, they haven't had great Eevee performances from Prince Danny in a while, so I think rockmonkey is definitely going to be prioritizing that today. Androxus, even if it goes the way of SK, this isn't Andro's best map, but it could at the end of the day deter the Drogos. But if Red X is able to get Bomb King here, that could be a very different story.
It might go with it. We'll see how that plays out. Makoa will be the first pick online, and Nara for Purity, Makoa for SK, and they will Red X back onto the Bomb King.
Okay, now SK, I think you're okay to let him have Androxus this time around. Get Rockmonkey on Eevee, and I think you'll be in a great spot here. I don't think that this is an impactful enough map for Androxus to be worried about it. It's close, though, because Danny is having a really good day on it, and him being confident in himself is going to be very important. And Androxus is definitely a character where he will always be comfortable.
Yeah, and I said on day one that he should have been on Androxus a lot more, just due to the fact that you said there, SK Gaming, as they are online, they'll go with the Grover.
I like it.
Great pick there.
I like it. I'm really, really happy they're able to feel confident enough in themselves to do it. The question is stolzey or Danny. Who's playing this? Because traditionally it was stolzey first, and then it was Danny a little bit later. So I think it depends on what the rest of this SK draft ends up being. That will decide who will play Grover.
Well, Torvald will finally come out here for Purity. They'll get the Genos as well.
This is looking so good for Eevee, man. If they can get Eevee here at the end, Torvald Genos is a great combination, especially with Over the Moon. You have 3 sources of damage amp. 20% from the Over the Moon on Eevee. If Luminary is the case, which it probably won't be because Genos will be the sole healer, but you also have the Field Study Torvald, which ends up in having a really, really great 2-shot potential on most characters.
Well, Maldamba probably going to come out here for Vex, and then maybe Androxus, or I think that could be the only pick here for Danny.
It's tough. They're running out of picks for Danny.
Right. Maybe Zin, but that hasn't worked.
No, and I don't think it would on Frozen Guard either. I think Eevee is really the play here. It's just a question of if SK are confident enough. They're going to take the Buck. We haven't seen Buck come out from SK virtually ever.
Bulk up Buck here, following the trends?
I actually have. I don't remember the last time I've seen them play Buck. Maybe that's Bitey. Maybe that's a Buck for Bitey. Bitey's been practicing it. He said, I've been playing a little bit of casuals with the bulk up, with different loadouts, trying to figure it out.
Right.
Because they figured it out. I give Virtus Pro all the credit in the world, and rockmonkey does end up getting the Eevee. But this Buck, who's playing it, and how will it work for SK? They are stretching themselves in the draft here, and if it works, you got to give them credit for it. They're making the right moves.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't seen at SK. We've seen a lot of standardized picks and really non-flex positions. There was the one game yesterday where Bitey wins in, and he wound up coming around and doing some flashy stuff with that when it was a 3 DPS, 1 tank, 1 support meta for them, for SK. Purity now online, and it was drafted just like you said, straight to T, set up for Eevee on rockmonkey. I mean, when we saw him in that first set, he was picking Androxus out of the air with direct shots.
And I think, so if he has Field Study and Over the Moon, I think even still with 2,600 HP, I'm pretty sure Buck's getting 2-shot. It's going to be close.
Right.
Depends on mitigations and things like that, if any blast shields are picked up by Buck, and if any previous damage has been taken. But it would be very, very close in terms of a 2-shot, and that's big for Eevee. Time to kill, and just having a 2-shot versus a 3-shot can make all the difference in the world for one of the squishiest characters in the game.
Well, that's it. We're headed into Frozen Guard. It's 1-1 here on the map count. Purity versus SK Gaming. This one's at least going to 4 now, as we're going to see if Purity can take another win away. It does seem like SK is, no, it'll be stolzey. He'll be on the Buck. Prince Danny on the Grover. And Wi-Fi. He'll stay on that Makoa.
So like I said, this is a risk, and it would have been an easy draft to call for any other team besides SK, but we just haven't seen them run these picks. This is going to be a big question for them. I think they've made the right moves in the draft. It just comes down to whether or not they can actually execute upon it.
Well, that's the other half of the strategy. It might be there on paper, but if your hands and eyes are not really on tack, that's going to be the other half of the game. Purity, though, and their draft process looks good.
They do,
despite rockmonkey going off, though. Is there another win condition there that you see that?
Absolutely, Red X on Bomb King. I mean, he's going to be able to chunk down Bitey fairly easily, so that's going to be a big lookout for them. The chain reaction, getting him where he needs to go. Wi-Fi's Makoa, though, is almost that half win condition for SK. Good hooks, I think, at this level of play almost always result in kills, and we're seeing that level of coordination is really the big factor there, because nobody's picking up Pluck. Everyone all of a sudden is just going Leviathan, which is pretty funny to see how quickly these pros can be convinced about what is really the best. So at this level, I think not going Pluck is an interesting call, but it's one that has worked out for basically every team this weekend, and every Makoa player is now running Leviathan instead.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time Makoa does go up against a Nara, which has the water field, which is a devastating cripple there. And I mean, also, I think you had called out in the PGS that Leviathan was so valuable a lot of the time there. But it's just funny how once someone picks it up in like a tournament or something like that, then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh yeah, Leviathan. Like,
Cephicloud's been doing it for a while, but until Virtus Pro were stomping people in the tournament with it, it didn't really gain its viability and acceptance among the rest of them. And I think while it does give you CC immunity, it's primarily picked up just for the health.
1800.
And it has become much more valuable in recent patches because Makoa lost a little bit, about 300 HP. Leviathan was then subsequently buffed to compensate for that. And it's funny to say 300 health is the make or break difference, but you look at Bulk Up Buck, that's exactly how much HP it gives him. And I was asking Simsilo earlier on, is Cauterize really affecting this legendary? And he's like, I mean, yes, it does. But at the end of the day, just getting the 300 additional max HP ends up being worth it, because in most cases, like, that's why I'm talking about this Eevee, where it's going to be super close between a 2-shot and a 3-shot. That time to kill difference between like the 2400 champions and below and like the 2600 health supports and above, that really throws off a lot of time to kills.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And as we take a look at Vex, they're just SK talking it over, keeping that hand warmer in pocket as he's ready. Well, out of pocket, rather. Almost trying to eat it now.
Those are extremely toxic. Don't put that in your mouth, Vex.
Don't follow that. Yeah. But rockmonkey here, I mean, Red X hasn't been on the Bomb King yet. I'm curious to see that if he is instantly ready. I know it's one of his pocket picks. If he's instantly ready to perform on it. But that's the thing. You're right. He has to be. Because if he's not, I think SK Gaming will walk away with a 2-1 lead.
It's game time for him and the rest of his team, as we're just waiting to get into game here. And the critical factor of having a couple of key picks for this Bomb King to take, he is one of the few characters that is just plug and play.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have to be picked up to counter. He's good or great in a lot of scenarios against Inara and Terminus in particular, who seem to be extremely strong in this meta, this land meta specifically. So that makes him all the more stronger. And he was, of course, the big contender at the Masters land. Some dub it the Bomb King land himself. So the king, gone but not forgotten.
Well, it's good to see. And, you know, this map, the run distance from start to objective is huge.
Yeah.
And there's also not a lot of ways to get in. It's either pass through the wooden wall there or you go around through the ice mines on the left. Do you see a prioritization in master riding early or not picked up at all? Or
Maybe some players go into this. It's a little bit more of a style pick. But having the right characters to zone out, ones that you don't have to get super close. I think SK have a great opportunity to zone with their Ruckus because he's not only super tanky, but he can get himself in and out of a decent range. He doesn't have to get too close. It's an extremely safe way to go about zoning.
Well, now, as we take a look at the items coming out, we're back into the game.
Full Virtus Pro, boys.
There it is.
Flux Generator Ruckus. I never thought we'd see the day where Bitey gave up Aerial Assault. Bulk up Buck for stolzey, Leviathan, Makoa, and Danny on Ferocity Grover.
There it is.
And morale boost to start with. Interesting.
Yeah, they're trying to prioritize that Whirlwind early.
Yeah, a very fast-charging ultimate. Not necessarily because it's a fast-charging ultimate, but because Grover can do a lot of damage and heal at the same time. So with those two factors combined, he ends up getting his ultimate very often, and morale boost, of course, making that about 15% faster.
Well, we're riding into the match now. stolzey, he's on the right-hand side. He's just going to put some shotgun damage in from deep here as he's pocketed right by Wi-Fi's side. Grumpy Bomb already on the objective. Will Red X find kills early, but it's 27% to start things off for Purity.
Eating big damage. He's going to bulk up. He's got his 2,600 HP, but that falls off after a few seconds, so back to his regular base HP. Going to work, but it's Purity parking themselves on the objective with the Sonara at 57% and climbing.
Red X gets pulled on out there. They see the damage. Red X weak. He popping by himself to safety. SK Gaming going to force their way in as Bitey gets on the objective for SK.
Danny looking for some big axes over here on the left side. It's got a lot of low HP targets, but can he get through and find some kills?
And this is an interesting pick for Danny because there's not really that much to it. The Vines at a new level there, but as far as the damage goes from the character, hit the shots.
Yeah.
Just throw the axe.
I feel you. I feel you. Great hook here from Wi-Fi. That's going to be first blood at almost 2 minutes in, and the second blood quickly falling thereafter.
rockmonkey forced the ice block there to the left-hand side, but Bitey has to deal with Torvald pushing along the right. RuBBu is pressing him as William gets on the objective, and it's 99%. Purity going to walk away with this one easily. Red X and rockmonkey tack on 2 kills during the push.
No, stacked up and slain. RuBBu finds an initial kill, but it's Red X who pounds home the triple. Those Vex and stolzey, they stacked up so close. They were both taking damage from every single in-hand.
And that's a great sign if you're Purity.
That's a no-no against Chain
X.
Reaction Bomb King.
No question. 206 remain here. Purity already has a King Bomb as well as an Ice Storm online. Through time and space will come up momentarily as SK Gaming are on their heels. You don't want to lose 2-0. Prince Danny will kill one, but it's King Bomb right away for Red X.
Going into it, time and space to combo. Wi-Fi 6,300 HP, not enough. He is the first to fall.
Yeah, that he is. rockmonkey here is going to get a kill as well. Bitey finds Red X in the air there, and rockmonkey will fall as well.
Wow.
Bitey, the coach.
What the heck?
This guy's impressive.
If Purity don't give up those 2 kills there for literally free. I mean, Bitey sat in the same spot and just shot them both until they died. If Purity played that fight better and didn't give up those 2 kills, this could be a very, very different round.
Look at the shielding that Bitey's getting. Every time he activated, it's a half a life bar on 4,400 almost, and it just looks great. stolzey is going to find 2 now, and SK Gaming, they're hoping for a defensive stop as that payload has begun to regress towards the 50% mark.
Big shots from stolzey onto the Mother's Grace, and Nar only doing about 400 damage, but it is enough at the end of the day. Danny helping him out there down the stretch. SK Gaming with all 5 ultimates available. Purity only with 4. And they invested a lot into that fight, and it went well for them, like I said, until it didn't, and they just died for whatever reason to Bitey. Both rockmonkey, rockmonkey traditionally being a very slippery player on EV, hard to bring down, goes down very simply.
A little bit wider of a map here, and even though EV can weasel a little bit around, in the end of the day, she's still going to be able to be seen rather easily. But now rockmonkey will take down stolzey. 30 seconds remain, and Purity are going to have a little bit of a push ways here with a lot of succession to convert this one.
Bitey's going to need 2 bombs right out of the gate, but he's got a big juicy shield. It's more than capable of absorbing it. Prince Danny's going to look to hold this angle on the mines as much as he can. The payload is getting pretty close, but Purity are going to have to go through SK if they want the conversion.
And Prince Danny finds rockmonkey, and he's got him a couple times now. stolzey on the Buck has been great. Let's take a look actually at Buck's loadout as Inara just kills herself. Yeah, I want to see what she's running here. And Nick, why don't you elaborate a little bit here?
It's all about the healing. It's all about the bulk up and the recovery. He's going to receive more healing while he is low HP.
Right.
He's gone into cooldown reduction because it's very important for this legendary to have uptime on your additional 300 max HP. So the lower you can get that cooldown, the greater your uptime will be.
Well, 1-for-1 hold came out there for SK Gaming after Purity had gotten that payload so easily. They pushed it to 50-60%, but that was it. And after that, SK Gaming, that was a great play.
Splash, splash. He takes down Vex through stolzey and then kills stolzey when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and stolzey didn't have a great jump there either. Wound up getting hang up on the wall, but I think he got stunned somewhere midair there as he wound up coming down when the daisy circles. But so far, it is Purity 1-1, 1-1 on the map as well. As we're riding now into the second point, Red X on the Bomb King. And we'll see from his POV where he goes, and it'll be up top.
I mean, this has just been such a much better matchup than I think any of us anticipated it to be. Purity really coming out, swinging, not afraid of this top seed out of North America. There's a nice hook to open things up on the Tooney.
That's not going to matter, though. I mean, Red X will get one. There's the healing coming out, though, but it's Buck in the back line. Leviathan Makoa is swinging away. Red X will find two. He's looking for maybe a Poppy Bomb here to disrupt.
Poppy Bomb him off the map. I mean, Danny gets up and over the wall, but hooked away in trouble is Red X, but a nice Poppy Bomb to split the difference.
Yeah, I guess, you know, he was keeping it online for safety, but I agree with you. He's right there on the edge. Poppy Bomb him off and send him into the depth zone, but either way, SK Gaming at 57% to start it off. But Purity, they didn't get on the point right away. They lost a little bit there.
He didn't get a whole lot for it. SK did a good job of realizing they were probably going to lose that fight, and they were able to, as you would say, weasel their way to 57% that they probably didn't deserve.
I have to agree. stolzey, though, he's very weak. Red X finds him. Oh, and Tooney is going to take him down as it's now a match. But Red X, he might fall right here, and he will. Wi-Fi takes him out, and now he heads right to the point for SK Gaming.
A lot of big damage, unable to get off from that Bomb King. There's a Hexafire trying to keep this Anar in an awkward spot. Vex combines for 2 kills there. But a lot of the legwork put in by Bitey and SK look like they are poised to take this point.
Yeah, and I think they're going to, as the run back is just too long. Purity will just get William back up online, as the run back will not be too long here on this map. stolzey finds rockmonkey as a last-minute trickle. Point goes over to SK Gaming. Now they're 2-1, and I'm kind of worried if I'm Purity, and the reason why is because even as good as Red X has looked, SK Gaming as a whole seem to be grouping and playing well together each map ongoing.
A lot of damage coming out from Bitey so far. He's on an 11 streak, the only one on a streak for SK Gaming currently. They need to get something going here. It's the first of 3 maps. Both teams tied up 1-1 here. And Nara's going to come through with the seismic crash and find 3.
Now it's Ice Storm as well coming out from Eevee, but Rockmonkey will fall. Prince Danny finds Red X as well, and that's the damage. It's gone. Now Purity are just going to have to back on up as the aggressors come out. SK Gaming, Prince Danny trying to latch on the Buck there on the jump. He'll find the wall to have the same exact effect. And Williams had to jump off the map 2-3 times in a row now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
they're struggling.
I think getting the quickest reset possible here is probably the wisest call for Purity. They have time to do so, as the payload was about 40% of the ways away from conversion, but now this is it. There is no more resetting for Purity. If they lose this fight, they lose this round.
Purity are going to have to hold not once, but twice with the remaining time on the clock here. And Prince Danny, he's going to activate Whirlwind once again, as he's just trying to heal up everybody. Red X will find stolzey there. Grumpy Bomb comes out. He's now focused onto Vex. Vex eating a lot of sticky bombs here, but now they'll just put it into Wi-Fi.
Ooh, one more axe from Danny would have done it, but Red X, he skirts himself away, and he meets Danny again on the high ground. Who can win this 1v1? Grover is not that great from up close, but is the healing enough to sustain him through?
Well, Danny will finally get taken out. Now Bitey's found his sights onto Red X, but Red X takes down him as well. That payload is so close, but it looks like Purity will be able to hold at least for now. No, stolzey takes down Red X.
Bomb King so good at just swinging, going toe-to-toe. Big kill there on a rockmonkey. stolzey's kept alive as well. Wi-Fi with a great rotation through. He's looking to sneak the payload.
And he almost backdoored it there, but William will finally take down Wi-Fi. stolzey going to have to just back up right now, wait for his teammates. 30 seconds remain. Purity actually wasted a lot of time in that engage, but they'll still have to stop. Just one more hold here. Ultimates did come out, like Buck Wild for SK Gaming, but a Hexafire is still online.
They brought a lot of things out. Purity are very close to more ultimates themselves. The second batch, if they can get this defense clean, they'll go into the next round with a pretty big ult advantage.
Yeah, I love that third round conversion, because then you put the SK Gaming in check. which is really big. 5 seconds remain. Overtime looking to come out now. Prince Danny, who's actually had a great game on Grover so far, he's going to find RuBBu and take him low. Overtime meter is here now, and he's going for the kill. Oh, he finds it.
Oh, big headshot there from stolzey as well. Paul, this could be it, the whirlwind to keep everyone alive.
And it's going to work here. Bitey does find another one. He has Hexafire online. It's probably going to come out here. Maybe not if they don't need it. Ice Storm to really hold things off. No, excuse me. And through time and space did come out. That's what we saw.
Bitey's starting to eat a lot of damage, though. Rockmonkey is still alive, but his sights have not yet been set on Bitey. It's Rockmonkey going down. SK Gaming get the Bomb King ultimate and the conversion.
The stone-faced Wardens might as well be SK Gaming. Look at that. No smile from Vex. He is locked in. It's not over. They're not out of the woods just yet. They have a lot more to do.
I wouldn't anticipate that SK Gaming is particularly pleased with their performance here.
I have to agree there. In fact, you know, based on some of the tweets and things, we know that's the case. And just rightfully so. #1 seed coming into NA. Right now, they're not struggling with the unranked Purity, but they're not having an easy time either. As we see the damage charts and items come out here, heading into round 3.
A little bit of master riding from Purity's Inara to get her onto the point very quickly. They'll have the comeback mechanic here, so if what happened in round 1 happens again for Purity, they're going to capture the point that much faster. 50% additional capture rate, so ticking for 4% per tick instead of just 3% allows Purity to have a lot more room for error and not much time needed on the point to garner themselves already 35%.
And look at what SK's doing, 42% and rising, but they've taken Prince Danny to that far side every time so far, and he's getting that ferocity damage on the axe. There's a Dread Serpent as well, doesn't convert to anything, but Inara, she'll fall to Vex, and Purity now are gonna have to back up this objective. Prince Danny is having a game here on Grover.
Big slays from this Grover axe. He's gonna reposition, look for more. Maybe finds it on, that was really close, on the Rockmonkey there. 62% for Purity, big 1,000 damage plus axes from Danny. But it's SK Gaming who win the fight and currently control the point.
And now, look at that, over 1,000 coming out there onto RuBBu as he has to back up. Now it's 66% for SK Gaming, and Nara's gonna try to dive Danny. They actually need to worry about Danny this time around, as 81% come out, Whirlwind once again, and they're having a hard time. Purity is dealing with this, but they're going to get back on the objective.
Danny unable to reset Wi-Fi's HP bar. That was the big one that he wanted. Torvald Bubble comes out onto RuBBu. stolzey finds one on a Rockmonkey, but the comeback mechanic is just too good, and Purity sneak it away.
stolzey having a great game on Buck as well now, as he heroic leaps right there onto Vex, and Vex going to have to just, onto Maldumba there. And I meant Genos. I'm in a brain fart. It's just crazy action. I can't even contain it. 211 come out here, and Vex, stolzey, SK Gaming, despite not getting that objective, they're still getting a lot of kills.
It's a 10 streak for stolzey. He's headed to the back line, and maybe this just speaks to the strength of those Virtus Pro picks, man.
Yeah.
This is not something SK traditionally run, and they're just going to whip it out here in a rough spot against a PGS team and be able to pull it off.
Double support has been a thing here. We thought we'd see some maybe, Ying or Ceres, maybe Ceres, but she hasn't come out at all. stolzey on a 10 streak now as a great pull there in from Wi-Fi. There's the cannon shots going off onto Inara, and Inara's going to get taken down there. William will have to go back to the death screen. Rockmonkey, he's been real quiet on the Eevee.
He has, and it's as a result, I think, of Purity were unable to anticipate this draft coming out from SK. Like we mentioned, this is something they do not traditionally run, these picks, the Grovers and the Bucks. Eevee would have been a great pick here, but SK Gaming, I think, against what a lot of people thought of them, picked up very tanky off supports and the Buck here. So Eevee does not have a lot of great targets.
And 105 remain as that payload has finally left the opening objective push. 3-2 in favor here of SK Gaming. They cannot win on the defense. Gaming can't. SK. But Purity there, they're looking for a 3-3 tie-up, but they have a long way to push it. We're already down to 50 seconds remain, and the payload is just coming around 45%.
Bullets coming out from Bitey here. Has his Hexafire available. Everything's available for SK Gaming. stolzey goes down deep in the back line, so Purity are given an opening here to close out this game against SK.
Bitey having to disengage now. He'll get the heal, so he'll come back up. RuBBu, though, on the Torvald will activate the recharge there and come on in as Wi-Fi dives and pulls in RuBBu.
And they're going to get him. That's a big kill to shut down. Now they can go a little bit freer, knowing the main source of damage from this Purity roster is dead. 15 seconds on the clock. RuBBu's fallen. The wall goes up. SK Gaming are putting themselves in a great spot to hold with all ultimates still available.
Almost took down Genos there as Really, there we go. Tooney's going to fall, and the defense is going to come out for SK Gaming. Can't win, but Purity doesn't get the 3-3 tie.
Ooh. Cute little spray there from Danny, who's playing Grover, something he has not played in a long time. Like I mentioned, stolzey used to play Grover for this team. It's always been a rarity for them, but he's looking much more himself on the buck. That's not only a difficult target for Eevee to bring down, especially when he's swinging for 1,200 damage headshots at a 40% increased rate with that Buck Wild ultimate.
Wow, but I mean, despite everything, rockmonkey still at 85,000 damage. Red X, he's over at 118K now, just around there. Items coming out. Vex will go with the Death Hands. And
yeah. He's doing a lot of good damage, but he's only managed to pick up 6 frags, as much as his support, Tooney, on the Genos. And the reason for that is there are no great targets. Everyone on this team, especially when you factor in healing, is going to require at least 3 shots. So when you're looking at Eevee, you want to be able to assassinate people with just a quick 2, and it's just unable to happen here. stolzey deep in the backline looking for first blood.
Wow, Wi-Fi's going to find it, actually. The coverage from Whirlwind's going to come out there from PrinceDanny, and stolzey just eliminates RuBBu there. William will find Vex, but that's all.
Anytime a Buck is able to get every single shot off of Buck Wild and connect with somebody or something on the enemy team, it is almost impossible to win that fight. That is an incredible amount of DPS just flying out of this shotgun, and stolzey looking like he's a long-standing Buck player, very OG experienced player, and Buck is one of the original characters, I believe, in this cast, so he's been around the block a while.
stolzey takes down rockmonkey once again, and 60%. SK Gaming look to walk away with this one. Purity have not been able to get on the objective at all so far. And PrinceDanny, credit to him, the morale boost Whirlwind has actually been posing a problem.
Yeah, he's been giving a lot of Whirlwinds out to his team. They haven't been insane or anything, but that's okay because he's picked up morale boost. He can just do it, whether or not he thinks it's the best situation. As not really a Grover main, it's going to be important for him. 99% on the point, though. Paul Purity are on their last legs in Game 3.
Overtime meter comes out as William dies the objective here, but he's just going to eat a lot of damage. stolzey has taken down PrinceDanny now. stolzey has taken down rockmonkey a couple of times. He hasn't gotten anything going. SK Gaming, as the Hexafire comes online, are going to wrap this one up. Too much damage on the point.
Time and space comes through, but Tooney, RuBBu, William have all fallen down. It's all on you, Rock, but it's a double kill for Danny as SK Gaming move ahead in this set 2-1.
That's it. That's what they wanted. Now the smiles come out for SK, and oh boy, I mean, they need one more to clinch this one away from Purity and end that Cinderella story, but Purity, they're not out just yet. rockmonkey, he did not have any success there on the Eevee.
And this is just stolzey on the Buck. He had a lot of work to do, but he did it. 16 and 8, 93,000 damage. Danny as well, 13 and 5, still finding a way to get it done. And that's what I love about Grover and Pip necessarily in this. You're seeing Pip and Grover with Virtus Pro, the way they're playing it, still be able to contribute almost top damage, a good amount of healing, and find big frags. That is the key for this SK roster going forward. And now Purity have a big question for themselves. Are we able to run this? Is this something we could pull off? Now that SK have succeeded with it once, that's a big weight off their shoulders. Okay, we can go to this at least. We can pull it off here, so this is going to be a big asset to us in this set.
Right.
And now Purity have that same question. Can we go to this in this set? Is it that good of a strategy to where if you're not comfortable on, you can pull it off?
Well, it's nice to see PrinceDanny getting a little bit of comfortability there, but so far it's SK Gaming 2-1. Let's throw it over to the desk and hear what they have to say about the matter.
Thanks, Paul. Welcome back to the desk, everybody. So once again, we do have a series ahead of us, 2-1 in the favor of SK Gaming. You had called that it might be a little close in certain parts, but started off pretty strong for Purity.
That 4-0 opener for Purity, I felt like it was either going to spell disaster for SK or be a wake-up call for them, and luckily for SK, it was a wake-up call.
And Gore?
It was just ridiculous. Like, I didn't expect that. I expected it to be close. I thought it was going to be maybe like the first map 3-3, then SK clutch it, and then they start coming in, and it's like, okay, well, we figured you out. We'll take you apart because of that. And that did not happen.
No, it did not. But rockmonkey is somebody that we talked a lot about the first time he appeared here today in the broadcast, and you can't go without mentioning him once again, just bringing through that Sha Lin play to start off.
Yeah, the Sha Lin for rockmonkey, absolutely impeccable. The guy doesn't miss. He's a great player. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the PPL later on, but right now he's definitely the man to look out for. if Purity is going to get a W, it's going to be off the back of that man right there.
We're talking about, he just makes Shaolin look easy in the way that he plays, especially because he himself is so cool and collected when you look at his player cam, that whether he's hitting every single one, gets a bunch of kills, you couldn't actually tell if he's playing well or not by his face. You just got to look at the actual gameplay and think, oh, well, you're rocking on through there. But in game number 2, we saw a little bit of a turnaround, Gore, and how do you think that SK managed to pull themselves up by the bootstraps?
It was one of those things, like you said, it was a wake-up call coming in where it's just kind of like they were first seed in North America coming into this. They were really strong. They were able to kind of pull themselves together. And losing 4-0 is a very, very good way to be like, coming in, like we said, we saw smiles before. We saw Bitey kind of playing around in the camera, making faces. And then after game 1, that was completely different. Like, they're still kind of like smiling. Bitey, of course, is still infectious with his smiles and everything, but the rest of the team was a lot more serious. They were ready to go forward. And I feel like that was kind of what came through. They were like, we can't do this. Like, we cannot lose these games. And I think that it was really just the wake-up call that came through where they decided, okay, everything is serious. Turn on competitive mode to the max and push forward.
And that synergy really shined through, because if you look at stolzey and Danny, where Danny ended up getting 3 kills and stolzey got 2, and what resulted in their point capture to bring it up 2-1, that was a big pivotal moment in showing that they were coming back into their stride again. So what do you think it took to get there?
I think if you look at the dynamic duo of stolzey and Prince Danny, you have to also look at the dynamic duo of Bitey and Wiffle. They both put so much pressure on the enemy team's backline. It opens up so much room for those 2 carries. So whenever the 2 tanks are playing well, Danny and stolzey, they can have lights out games every single time.
Gore, do you agree that the frontliners are front and center for that?
Yeah, we definitely saw, I think in game 2 specifically was where that was kind of starting to shine through, where it was just like SK, when they were able to finally go forward and even following into the game 3, just their positioning, the way they were kind of bringing in, I assume just the comms that they bring in as well, really help keep the players at a level head and ready to continue playing instead of getting demoralized about any of the losses. Because Purity has definitely been keeping it toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, even in that game number 2, we were talking about how the point got captured to bring it 2-1 in SK's favor, but then the defense came from Purity to bring it actually to 2-2, keeping them on their toes. So with that, what happened then going into game number 3?
Going into game number 3, you looked at the draft. You saw SK bring out the Buck. You saw SK bring out the Grover. And these 2 characters, these aren't something that SK is comfortable with. I think they're looking for it because of how well it did during the PPL tournament. I'm really hoping to see them, play a little bit more with that Buck, figure it out, because if they end up going up against Na'Vi without the knowledge and without the comfortability with playing that Buck, they're going to have a hard set looking forward if they do come out of this ahead.
So would you say, Cuss, that it was a huge risk for them to come through, not necessarily putting everybody on comfort picks?
It was definitely risky, but they did have, a couple comfort picks. They had Bitey on that Ruckus still, and honestly, stolzey played that Buck very, very well. He was almost unkillable. I think he did have 7 or 8 deaths, but I think that was more about a snowball effect that Purity was able to get ahead. And but that Buck is just that Buck's a monster.
A lot of it. Looking at positioning too, you're mentioning how in game number 2 the management that came from the tanks to actually put things in motion, but then here where stolzey had those openings because of the rest of his team as well. So with that, Gore, how do you think that they're working collectively with that?
I feel SK, like, it seemed like they got picked apart kind of in like game number 1, and then coming in game number 2, they kind of recollected themselves. Coming into game number 3, they had a lot more of that synergy that I feel we saw in the last couple days throughout the PPL itself, where they weren't just 2 separate units. It wasn't, hey, we're going to run in and try to set them up, and you're going to just kind of sit in the back. It was actually cohesion coming through, the rotations from the rest of the champions and the rest of the players to kind of set that up. So I feel like this was SK hitting their stride again, like coming through, demoralized from game 1 and game 2, start to find themselves going. It went to like 3-3 before they finally closed it out, and then they were like, all right, we can do this. We know we can close it out. We just have to kind of keep ourselves going cleanly.
With Serpent Beach being the next map for these teams, and Purity actually had a good game with that within their first set, where on the EV, rockmonkey made a big impact and maybe wasn't as comfortable in the previous game. But do you believe, Cuss, they might just try to mimic some of the strategies that worked for them before?
I really think that Purity is going to look for an early Androxus here. That's rockmonkey's bread and butter. Again, it's going to be all about just making rockmonkey comfortable and having RuBBu and those frontliners really open things up for him. If they can do that, they can find success on this map. This isn't SK's strongest map, but don't count SK out. They can play a good game on Serpent Beach as well.
There's a point in game number 2 when rockmonkey looked like he was going to take that control from SK, and he was doing a fairly good job. But then as soon as he ended up dying and then the rest of the team wasn't there to follow up, SK just grabbed it right back from them. So locking in the Makoa as the first pick over there for Purity.
I think the Makoa is definitely, it's a staple choice. Give the Inara over to SK a little, that should be fine. They should be okay with that. The Bomb King actually comes in. I don't know if they're going to go with the Inara. I would imagine so, but we'll see what happens.
Stolzey played a really good Bomb King earlier.
No reason to give it up if it worked well for you. And like the one thing I'm looking at this from SK just on the screen, Shaolin was banned once again. I have 2 stars next to Shaolin in 2 games where Purity did really, really well. The last one, they were able to fight back, but I think that was a really big thing. Like you said, if you keep rockmonkey uncomfortable, if he's not playing something that he's quite as good with, the rest of the team doesn't come through. He's kind of the one that's leading the way, opens it up for the rest of them. Even if sometimes it's, hey, I'm just confirming the kills, either way, they're getting kills. They're getting that opening. They're trying to go forward with it. And I feel like taking that away from him, keeping him kind of on his toes, is definitely the way for SK to kind of tilt them away.
But Androxus gets locked in, just like you expected, Cuss.
Yeah, I mean, and they get the Androxus for rockmonkey. They get RuBBu's Ruckus. Both of these characters are absolutely insane on Serpent Beach. Being able to take over that high ground, especially after you win the point, you need to go in zone. Having a lot of characters that can get to those high ground positions, very important for Serpent Beach.
So with some of the picks not necessarily being comfortable during the last game and Purity ended up with the loss, then Gore here, it's being kind of more familiar territory.
If they can find that comfort, I expect it to be another one that's going to go probably 3-3. I don't see Purity finding another 4-0. I just don't see that happening. I think they kind of caught SK off guard, and I think that came in, and it was, again, the wake-up call where SK was like, okay, wait, we can't mess around with these guys. We need to take this seriously. That's where Game 2 kind of came in, where they're like, these guys know how to draft, these guys know how to play, and we see it go 3-3. We see it on the backs of the Shaolin. We see it on the Terminus, everything kind of being spread around for Purity. If they can find their home here and be happy with what they have for Purity, that's a good chance for them to start slipping up SK. And SK has a pretty good draft coming into this as well. But we saw the Bomb King earlier where it was good, but it wasn't nearly as effective as you would think. It wasn't an easy win for them.
Thus far within the draft, Cuss, whose are you favoring?
Right now, I'm looking at SK, and there were some players out there joking. You get Torvald, you get Bomb King, you win the game, no problem. I mean, it looks good, but when you look at Purity's lineup, you look at RedX, you look at rockmonkey, they got the Drogos, they got the Andro, RuBBu's got his Ruckus. All I see on Purity's side is comfort, so it's going to be that, can Bomb King light up the stage and really carry this, or is Purity's comfort picks going to give them another win here?
What about you, Gore? Who are you favoring?
As of right now, I really like the way Purity's built their roster, just because at this point they have everything they'd be comfortable with. The Androxus, I think, is going to be kind of the wild card for me coming into this, depending on how rockmonkey can pilot that, because the Drogos earlier on in their first set, that was part of what helped set them up, and Androxus does pretty similar things to the Shaolin in the sense that he's just going to be cleaning up after what Drogos is going to set up, so I expect that one to be good, but SK are looking very strong.
Well, Buck's ready to party as the last lock in there, so casters, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
Thank you so much, Gabby. Appreciate that. And so far, Nick, I mean, which one of these, both of these drafts seem to be everyone in the game has gotten what they like.
Yeah.
What do you think so far, and what do you like about either side?
I think Purity have gotten everything that they wanted in this draft. The big question is just what I think is Danny on Buck. That's the big question mark. And it's such an awkward spot to be in, because when you pick and ban out rockmonkey, you also kind of pick and ban out PrinceDanny. They have a lot of overlap in their champion pool. And this game, the Androxus has gone the way of Rock.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, as really Purity have got to win the next 2 ones if they are going next 2 sets. If they're going to defeat SK Gaming this time around, SK Gaming, they've gotten not necessarily what they want, but they've gotten the tier list that goes in their favor. The Inara, the Bomb King.
Everything is definitely good on the side of SK Gaming.
Right.
Sort of like game 1. There's 4 exclamation points and a question mark. And last time we said that, it was a 4-0 in favor of Purity.
All right, well, we'll see how things play off. rockmonkey hasn't seen Androxus, and RedX hasn't seen Drogos at all so far this time around.
Also true.
Yeah, so this could be a new feeling here for Purity. William, we've seen his Mako in the PGS time and time again. It's always been extremely successful, as he'll play that one more time, and RuBBu as well on the Ruckus there. But like, you know, Cuss said, you get Bomb King, you get Torvald, and you attack on Buck? I don't know. As we head now into the first round of Serpent Beach, Purity versus SK Gaming. Who will win?
rockmonkey coming around the left here. He doesn't know it yet, but he's not going to be met with much resistance. Everyone from SK Gaming is over on the right side here. Wi-Fi takes about half of his HP before throwing up his wall.
Yeah, right there, PrinceDanny fell very low, and RuBBu is going to play the aggressor now as stolzey's kind of get pushed out. RuBBu's going to get on that objective with William right above there, pressing SK Gaming back to their spawn. Now 24% do come out for SK, and Purity, they're both fighting on the objective. Actually, no one's on the objective right now.
Drogos has complete control of these little nests. SK don't have much to chase him down with. Buck might be able to get up here, get involved. The thrust to the high ground. The fire spit connects as well. RedX so far playing this very safe.
William walks away with that first blood, but right there, stolzey's giving him some trouble. Danny as well. William has to hide away here. stolzey very weak. He's going to get that Torvald protection and just have to go back up top. But right there, one shot as rockmonkey takes down Wi-Fi. And now it's 55% for Purity. This is going their way so far.
Huge fire spit lands onto 3 targets. William finds stolzey hiding out for dear life. Does this reversal land? No, and Bitey able to find a couple of stone pebbles there from the spear to take him down. Shield is up. Dragon Punch is here. Takes down Inara. This looks like a Purity first point.
And it probably was, but actually the pull in there from William saved the day as he actually brought PrinceDanny to him, and that's what paused the overtime meter, and now SK Gaming are turning things around.
Is that what they needed? It looks like it was. Vex 30 finds 2. Danny takes down 1, and Vex finds his 3rd kill in this point fight, and it looks like SK are able to take back control. 57% now. They're not out of it just yet. Purity have a chance to take this one back, but SK Gaming can't afford to make a single mistake.
William has got to be kicking himself for that one. He literally brought the contest to him. Buckwild's going to be initiated, and RedX, he's blind in the back line as Dread Tripper comes down. Oh, but Tooney, he's going to take down PrinceDanny. Overtime meter begins to tick out, and Purity will have 1 kill advantage, and they'll get it. Purity is not done yet, Nick.
Stolen away. That wall was good, but the ultimates were just a little bit better. Purity, they won 90% of that round, and that ended up paying out for them because they just needed a small little window on that point to take that from 99% to 100.
rockmonkey looking to be a weasel here as he's out of sight now. 208 remain. He's just camped out. Really got a nice spot. I don't see too many people utilize that, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, not that line of sight for sure. 2 minutes on the clock. The shots are coming out. stolzey's forced out of this high ground. rockmonkey taking a lot of damage. He's going to back up and just hang out in that gourd for a moment.
And get a little bit of health as he'll return back to full. Now it's 148 remain as SK Gaming have their backs against the wall. PrinceDanny is going to find RedX, and that's really going to be a big DPS relief as they don't have to worry about fire spits coming out, and it's also RedX running combustible this time around. So PrinceDanny, he's going for one more and doesn't find it due to reversal.
Buck actually a decent character to counter out Drogos in most situations, and Serpent Beach is probably Buck's strongest map. If not, yeah, I would say it's probably his strongest map, especially in this tournament, and if history has told us anything. And he can kind of chase Drogos down. There's nowhere the Drogos can go where the Buck can't find him.
Right, RedX now. He's going to run right back into the Buck again, but the fire spit does come out. Healing is online, though. RedX doesn't have any. In fact, it's 185 remaining. Vex takes down rockmonkey. RedX just gets out of there, but he's not out of the neck of the woods. Oh, boy. Still doesn't take down that bulk-up Buck.
It is definitely difficult to bring down. The thrust up into the air. Salvo gonna find some decent damage, but it is Bitey on Inara. Holding down this high ground. He gets knocked up all the way off the map. RedX with a big pick.
That was a huge one, and there's so much sustain. Dragon Punch, though, hold that thought. RedX now online. Oh, but he's gonna run right into stolzey, who blows him up.
stolzey with the better King Bomb to the great Dragon Punch. So RedX starts the fight very well, but SK are countering it beautifully.
If that King Bomb doesn't come out there, Purity and Dragon Punch lands. Purity might have 2-0'd that one, pushed it in. Great job there by stolzey, and good recognition.
That would have been a very, very rough spot to be in. I think Bitey definitely learned his lesson about standing up on that pedestal as Inara with no way to really keep himself on the map. There's very few things Inara can do to try and keep herself off of a situation like that, so it's better not to just give the opportunity to RuBBu, especially now that he knows it's there. I don't even know if he was going for that.
I don't think so. I mean, they're looking to hit the fire spit, but not knock off, but hold that thought now. Rockmonkey Tooney, they're reaching to get one. Tooney, he's trying to land that spitting serpent. Here comes a Gorge for some backup now, and all members of SK Gaming are really caught out. This might go down. PrinceDanny, though, is going to find William. Rockmonkey finds Bitey, and Dread Serpent is online. It might just come out to lock it up, but stolzey's going to have something to say about it.
There is still a lot of potential for Purity to take this point, not with losing Rockmonkey. Hope is definitely dwindling. RuBBu doesn't have his Hexafire, but the guns are good enough. Wi-Fi slain, and Purity get the 2-0.
Purity is not giving up. They are not done, as it is a 2-0 on SK, and SK, we have seen their tilt factor throughout this tournament. It is definitely viable, and it's definitely there. There's smiles when they're doing good. There's straight faces when they're doing poorly, and Vex is right back to that, not frown, but he's on the verge.
And the comms were just pretty curt, pretty quiet there from Vex. I heard him just mouth, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And that's not good. One-word answers.
Sure, Mom.
Exactly. A little bit of frustration. Great fire spit. Look at that. Slow-mo and Bitey. You're going to head to the death screen.
Shout outs to the replay guy for that one. And then, oh my God, the transition from the punch to the bomb. Slowing it down so we can bask in the glory of stolzey's mechanical outplay.
Well, now we're heading now to the third round, and Nick, RuBBu has not missed a beat on the Drogos.
Whoa, RuBBu straight to the back line here. It's Purity getting extremely aggressive.
That's right, Dread Serpent does come out now. stolzey, he's blind. He doesn't even know who's there. RuBBu and RuBBu, Rockmonkey as well. Dragon Punch comes out, but hold on now. They will get a lot of percentage for this one, Nick, but they burned a lot of resource to do so. They have Hexafire coming up shortly.
There's the combustible spit, and they take down Bitey. Very staggered. 9 seconds before SK Gaming will be as 5 once more.
Can you believe this? I mean, Purity, they're not going away. In fact, they might walk away with a 3-0. RuBBu finds another one. Oh, man, Purity, they're not done yet, and they're hungry for more.
This SK Gaming roster is looking flustered. The fire spit comes out. Wi-Fi's doing his best just to get in and touch, but the body blocks from RuBBu, are they good enough? Oh, no, overtime will start.
Bitey finds one. William finds, and RuBBu will each find one apiece. Purity are getting it. The overtime meter has started one more time. All right, stolzey there. stolzey. He's not letting go. Okay, but that's it. Purity get it, though.
They do go up 3-0. stolzey's able to take the kill from Rockmonkey. The reversal was big, but not big enough. 2:20 on the clock. And Purity look to keep themselves in with another potential 4-0.
King Bomb online for SK Gaming, as well as Hyper Beam here on Torvald. Buckwild was used in that engage, but it didn't convert to anything. Purity rebuilding their ultimates online. Here comes a Grumpy Bomb. stolzey initiating in, but a Fire Spit does come through, and stolzey has found some success on the Bomb King once again.
A lot of damage coming out on the Tooney. He could be in a rough spot here. Nice bomb down from distance to put RuBBu in a rough spot. Everyone from Purity's pretty low and just on the back foot for the time being. A lot of damage from Chain Reaction coming out, and SK Gaming are so far holding a great defense against Purity.
40 remain. Payload has started to regress. It doesn't even matter. Even if the defense comes out here for SK Gaming, Purity are in the driver's seat. Rockmonkey finds one, but stolzey finds two. It's a 3-for-3 trade on both sides.
Oh my God.
2 for 2. PrinceDanny not going away. He's eating a lot of damage. He's forced to disengage, but there's that recovery. Builds his life all the way back up.
Blood has been spilled that fight. 3 for 3 though, so it isn't even traded, and really no ground is gained from either side. Purity are going to work their way back onto the point. Start moving this as SK prioritize defensive positioning, looking to hold off the conversion and try and take this to a round 3.
RuBBu, he's been the X factor here for me. Would he show up as, tried to hit it. Will miss the fire spit. William finds Vex though. That means no healing. Now it's an Ancient Rage. He pulls right at PrinceDanny. PrinceDanny can heroically leap out to safety, and it's really William diving the back line, but a Buckwild comes out again.
Shell shield's up. The shell spin is reduced. The cooldown with ebb and flow. Nice out. Rockmonkey with a great reversal to kill stolzey.
Now it's Rockmonkey. He's still in line. Tooney's going to find Bitey there. 42 seconds remain. Oh, it might be a 4-0 again as Purity is pushing along the right-hand side here. RuBBu flanking from up top, and SK Gaming are trickling out of the base.
Wi-Fi immediately cut off. That Hyper Beam gets nothing. William with a great dredge anchor. RuBBu does eat a time and space, but Paul, I don't know if it's enough.
Dread Serpent comes out once again. Rockmonkey's still online. Seismic Crash has a last-ditch effort, but Bitey will pay for the life. Now it's going to be a reversal. Buck comes down. Oh, but RuBBu finds him. Oh, another one goes down. This payload's going in, and Purity take a 4-0 lead.
Let's see it, baby boy. That Dragon Punch was ready, even if anyone able to come out and contest. And I think Purity are slowly but surely starting to realize that this is real, Paul. This could happen.
Oh, man, and it not even could happen. It's right there on happening. I mean, they're just one game away. They're still in it entirely as we check out the score sheet here. And who do you like to note on this score sheet now?
I just think it's the comfort picks for on Red X. 92,000 damage, 9-6. rockmonkey with another great game, 11-8. But RuBBu and Makoa coming out for William. Having those comfort picks across the board for Purity just seems so important for them.
Now, because it said Bomb King, Torvald, in most situations and regions, that's regarded as an auto win. But it just got 4-0'd.
Absolutely. It definitely did. And I think just a very strong composition for Serpent Beach. There was a lot of verticality, and Makoa being able to drag anyone off of the high ground from SK. They didn't have a great way to get back up there.
Oh, boy.
Look at Tooney there. He's just free pushing the cart the entire game. That's going to result in a lot of credits for this squad. And you have to talk about the credit economy in a 4-0 sweep. That means cauterizes, things like that. Important item pickups for SK just don't happen where you've got Tooney. Not only is there not a lot of cauterize online, but 212 objective time means a ton of credit spooling for being and pushing and doing that objective. So he's going to get higher levels of Chronos, means more healing, less cauterize from SK. That is a really nasty storm to be involved with.
And the thing about it is that he was on Maldumba. He wasn't even through the wall healing that Vex had on Genos. Now, granted, those charts are slightly manipulated due to the fact that it was a 4-0, so SK never really was able to get on the objective, but that's just another credit to Purity, as they are, I mean, is there another PPL slot available? I mean, these guys are playing great.
They've definitely proven themselves worthy, and we know SK have been weak in LAN performances, but this would be a whole new level of weak, and coming in first seed from the online stages and being brought low by the PGS squad, looking to come, forming themselves out of rank and now looking to cement themselves on one of the biggest stages and at least punch their ticket to the next step closer for qualifying for the PWC. If they won't do it here, but they will go to the semifinals, which if they can win one more set after taking down SK, we will see a PGS team qualify for the Paladins World Championship in January.
The scary thing, I think Bitey should have to remove one of those American flags for every game they lose, and then he adds one for every game they win. Either way, he's looking Super America. I like it. But all right, so here's the thing that I'm really curious about. There goes Splitstone Quarry. It's going to be SK picks here, so they might have a little something up their sleeve for it. What's going to be the key here? Because Prince Danny, he didn't look bad on the buck, but didn't look good either.
He got a ton of damage, but he was 4-6.
Right.
And it's the inverse of, like, we'll see Androxus's be in, like, the bottom 4 for damage, but if they're 20-0, it doesn't matter. They're doing what they meant to do. Terminus is first picked. SK ban away the Bomb King, so a little bit of difference already starting up here in the draft.
I wonder why Purity chose to go the Makoa ban here. They knew they were going to let Terminus squeak on by.
I think Purity have to take Androxus here because not only is Bomb King banned out, but Red X on his comfort pick with the Drogos opens it up, but they're going to go for the Shaolin here instead.
For Rock. Yeah, rockmonkey going to take that one, and he feels to go back on it. They'll steal a Ruckus away as well for RuBBu. That's been a highly contested pick in either one of these series.
At the end of the day, those are both power picks for Purity. And Drogos hasn't been super popular on Splitstone Quarry. Splitstone Quarry hasn't been a very popular map, period.
We've seen it more, though.
SK have run it. They brought it here yesterday, and they brought out a Zin. Some wacky stuff with the Zin. And the Ruckus already being gone. Terminus definitely going to Wi-Fi. It's definitely something to keep an eye out for, but look out for Bitey to play it, so maybe SK go to the triple DPS.
Maybe Inara comes out here, have some massive tank presence. And you're right, Drogos, just too many ceilings, too many rooms as far as Splitstone Quarry goes for Drogos.
I think you just Virtus Pro this again if you're SK. Go for the Grover, go for the Buck. Purity have already put you in a decent spot, but they're going to take the Fernando instead. Not to say that they couldn't go Grover Buck at the end, but they're going to keep things open and available for themselves. Androxus, notably still on the table, but with Shaolin already going, likely to rockmonkey. It's all about what does Red X feel comfortable playing.
Well, they'll take Inara and Genos, as they'll keep that flex pick open for the 5th. Maybe a tri-tank composition, not most likely, but it's there. Another DPS as well for Purity. SK now on the board. Isn't it funny that Vex is one of the supports in the league that literally prioritizes getting the Maldamba over Genos? Like, it's not always prioritized. Genos mostly is, but he'll be more than happy taking that Maldamba.
Makes me think that they could potentially be going for a triple front line here because Maldamba is the premier healer when you are going that strategy. When you're going to stack up a bunch of beefy bodies, the
You're right
Gourd
about
is
that.
invaluable for that. As well as I think just has the better ultimate. Less so nowadays than he used to, but time and space still requiring a little bit of setup at the highest level of play to hit it.
Sure, Grover will come out, so this will be for Danny, as he'll pick that up, and it'll be the buck as well for Stolzey. So they will go that composition, Nick, that you were talking about.
They've Virtus Pro'd him, and it worked well for them. It worked very well for them on Frozen Guard.
Right.
And this has been the most effective way at shutting down what has been a very prevalent flank meta. Very high burst damage, low time to kill with these very bursty champions that we know rockmonkey likes to play. And you can kind of see it on his face that he realized he doesn't have a lot of great targets this time around.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a concern there, kind of, as we're seeing what will Red X go? I mean, he's hovering now. Does he go back to Drogoz due to comfort?
Just think about how difficult this SK lineup is to bring down. You've got
He will.
3 full resets here available with the Reanimate from Terminus.
Right.
You've got the Fernando Immortal to keep off all the aggression from things like Hexafire and Dragon Punch. And then you've got a Whirlwind that's just going to juice everyone back up to full HP.
Well, SK, they have Borker there, holding the flags down as rockmonkey has his little trinket, the monkey. So it's a battle of the animal mascots here as it's 2-2. And I mean, I don't think anyone called this one going to 5. You know, maybe SK 3-1, but 3-2.
I will say,
maybe Purity.
What I like to see, what I'm looking to see in this matchup is that SK have drafted the very Virtus Pro style. But the difference here, and these are the same 2 bands that we saw in basically all of the NIP Virtus Pro set, is the Drogoz. That was the one thing that Ninjas and Pajamas never went to. Can it overcome the Grover and the Buck to be able to come out on top? It'll be a good answer, I think, for Terminus. But if Danny is landing his axes and Stolzey is putting the appropriate pressure onto this dragon, I think it could be a difficult day for Red X.
Well, if it has been combustible before for Red X now, and the combustible will knock off these tanks off a gourd there in the middle, and it'll also knock them off the objective to save some time here. Undying is going to come out for Wi-Fi. That's been the the legendary of choice for Terminus on the map so far.
Yeah, as well as Aegis for Bitey's Fernando.
Right.
And Wrecker has fallen off in popularity because shielding tanks have fallen off in popularity. And Aegis is a cooldown reduction legendary for the shield for Fernando, as well as removing the duration. So you have no choice but to go through it unless Bitey chooses to drop it down himself.
Well, right now it is 0-0, 2-2. Purity versus SK Gaming, PPL versus the PGS, and SK Gaming are rushing right onto the objective, abusing the fact that they have the Terminus.
There is going to be that initial capture going the way of SK, 27-30%. Wi-Fi is still just doing that dance, moving around, trying to absorb as much capture point as he can before getting knocked out by Combustible Fire Spit.
Red X had found a buck there on Stolzey, and Stolzey very weak. He's going to get healed back up there due to recovery. Now it's first blood, though. That's going to go over to Stolzey. He turns on Red X and kills him. rockmonkey has his work cut out for him as SK Gaming look to take the first opening objective to 50. And they'll have to back off. Purity will.
It's a critical matchup. We knew that it had to go the way of Stolzey. Stolzey has a very, very important job of taking down Red X this game. He gets gripped up and slain, though. Tooney credited with the frag.
84% now for SK Gaming. Somebody from Purity is going to have to dive onto it now. Red X is over there. He's going to activate a fire spit. It will hit a couple targets. PrinceDanny forced to back out. He'll get hit by rockmonkey's arrow. Now it's a little focus up top, and 45% for Purity as they get on the objective. SK Gaming are trying to figure out how to get in.
I think a wise call from SK overall. Just reset, reset, reset. We lost Stolzey. He's going to be critical here. And Red X needs to play this carefully. We ever see even Evil Eye can run this Drogoz into rough matchups as long as he stays safe.
2 go down, though. Stolzey will find Tooney, so the healing is gone. Stolzey might be able to find another as it's going to be RuBBu who dives on. Slither comes out from Vex. Vex trying to get away. Rockmonkey, it's overtime here. The Dread Serpent comes out from Vex, and now Rockmonkey's trying to take down Vex, but Vex slithers to safety one more time.
Oh my god, Wi-Fi got in the way of that planted, but it still doesn't matter. Vex goes down. The Dragon Punch is good, and there's no reanimate available for Wi-Fi, so he has to hold that L.
Fernando's the last one up now as Stolzey comes in. And now oh, that's a direct shot. Ooh, 2 down. Stolzey falls. Bitey falls. Overtime. Purity are going to take the first round.
Oh my goodness, and this is Not what you want to see if you're an SK Gaming fan. You have a PGS team unranked against the #1 seed out of North America looking to make the upset a reality.
I'm an SK Gaming fan.
Oh, no!
But yeah, I love what I'm seeing coming out here from Purity. They're playing incredible. It's not over. It's just getting started. I think this one's going to 4. As Splitstone Quarry is one of the hardest maps, if not the hardest map, to convert this payload on. It's definitely the longest push. 2 minutes remain here as Purity have got to find something going. A 2-0 start would be detrimental to SK Gaming's mindset.
And I think at the end of the day, that's what you have to remember. It's that SK Gaming aren't playing bad. They're not making very notable mistakes. It's just Purity that are coming out swinging. They know what they do well, and they are doing it.
You know, sometimes in the NBA, what they talk about is that the defense is great, but the offense is just better. And so far, Purity is coming out here. And look, it's going to be stolzey. He's going to have to recover. Through time,
no!
down on the setup as Tooney finds one. William gets another. The back line is being dove as we're seeing Inara. Oh, boy. Purity 4 are down now. SK Gaming, they're scrambling, but they're getting stuck up. Payload at 50%.
Massive plays here. Purity are going to have to do it again. They've got a lot of time on the clock. Reanimate is available for Wi-Fi. Into planted goes rockmonkey looking for something. He won't find any kills, but SK Gaming, they feel like they're against the ropes.
And they are. Their backs are pinned up to the wall, Nick, and rockmonkey, he's gotten his comfort pick. He couldn't ask for a better draft process, as right now it's going to be Wi-Fi who dives there on the terminus, but they have rockmonkey unlocated. stolzey will find Tooney. That's going to be a great help. SK Gaming really need a defensive stop, and 2 die. That'll help SK Gaming to situate that up.
This looks like a good start for them. rockmonkey deep in the back line. He has gone all in for something. He will find nothing. 40 seconds on the clock. And Splitstone is a large map, a very low capture point conversion percentage here. So things are looking slim. Purity have probably one chance to make it back to this point cleanly, but SK are not allowing them to do so.
SK situated now in a great position. PrinceDanny's going to get a fire spit there. He'll have to back away, no problem for him. 17 seconds remain, so Purity are going to have to dive this point at some point in time or just give it up. SK Gaming, PrinceDanny has found RedX, but RedX just going to thrust away. And now both teams are going to scramble for this final team fight.
I don't know if that's the vine that Danny wanted. He's going to have to fight on outside of the high ground here. Up to the high ground. No Wi-Fi with a Shatterfall that won't get him there either. Overtime starts. Massive Calamity Blast from Wi-Fi to take down Rock.
That was insane damage, and it all came from the Bitey kill. He fireballed RedX in the air, and this is going to be a defensive stop here. The run back is just too far as SK Gaming wind up taking it a 1-1 affair right now. And boy, I think this game has everyone on their seat. As Purity, it's either way. Nice seismic crash here from William. That set things up.
That absolutely did. William almost body blocked stolzey into it as well. Those 2 kills turned into 4 as stolzey fell and Bitey fell alongside them. William definitely moving along the legwork in that fight. Look at the damage charts, Paul.
Oh, man. Good call there, Nick, as Purity are leading it by 4 members in the top 5. In fact, it's just stolzey. Oh, man. But SK Gaming did get the defensive hold, so that's all that matters.
They definitely do, but there is a lot of things going right for Purity. stolzey has to be very careful about how he approaches this fight. He has to be the one to take down RedX. Nobody else really can do it. Danny's axes, you saw him try and land. He missed probably 4 in a row on the airborne target, so it has to be Buck to take down Drogos.
Well, now it's going to be stolzey, and a little bit of overextend from William. He gets taken down to about 25% of the way, but so does Terminus. Seismic Crash comes out again. Oh, and it might be set up again. No! But someone got popped up there, and that destroyed them out of that wombo as RedX finds stolzey.
But it is going to force a couple of ultimates out of SK Gaming. The Hexafire is here. The fire spit is big. RedX rips it open with a double kill.
That's right. Now PrinceDanny will find
RuBBu.
Oh, no, in the air as the reanimate comes out and eliminates RedX. Heat Haze was popped as well from rockmonkey. No value there. And SK Gaming, they're situated and have the ultimates in their favor as a lot of stuff was used there from both sides.
A lot of things are all gone now. Every ultimate is off the table. It's going to come down to a man and his aim versus the other man across the table and his aim. Right now, though, it's rockmonkey and his that is taking over this fight.
Oh, boy! rockmonkey finds stolzey. As overtime has begun to take out now, but that objective as RuBBu, he actually flanks right here. RuBBu finds one. He's still going. RedX finds another. Oh, PrinceDanny, he's going to fall as well. Heal comes out, but that's not going to matter. rockmonkey takes him down, and now it's Purity. The trickle kills come in, and if they find one more here, it could go in their way.
Bitey's just trying to fade away, but rockmonkey and William cut them off. stolzey's trying to find the frag. If William can get him, and he does, stolzey goes down 99% for SK, but Purity 67, 78 and rising.
And Terminus going to get into that objective. They're not going to let Purity walk away with this one. A good plant comes out of rockmonkey, takes down Wi-Fi. He's not going to have any reanimate there, and 99% is going to come out for both of these teams. Overtime is about to trickle out. Fernando's going to fall to William, and Purity, they look to walk away with another one here, and they'll get it as they take the lead once again.
2-1 on offense. Here we go. Another 300 credits in the pocket. RedX doing such a good job of just staying safe away from this buck. Don't let him get to you. Be safe. Rely on this fire spit. RedX, he knows it so well, and he's been doing it perfectly.
Purity have been controlling the point so far. SK Gaming seem to have had it, but a last-minute flank by RuBBu on Ruckus from the top had changed that one. Fire Spit comes out, and it's been connecting. Direct shots haven't been as much, but Fire Spit definitely has.
Combustible traditionally has been the safest way to play Drogos. You just stay, you corner peek, you pop your fire spit, you get your damage off, and then you move back to safety. I think RedX knows this. He knows stolzey's going to be hunting him on the buck, so he has to play carefully.
And he's going to Dragon Punch. rockmonkey finds stolzey. Bitey falls as well. Here comes a fire spit. That won't connect, though. It's Vex in the back line. Oh, he's going to eat a direct shot. rockmonkey, RuBBu, 4 down for SK Gaming. And now the trickle begins as they're just going to wait it as Wi-Fi rushed in there to get taken out.
My goodness, this isn't the end of the road for SK. There's one more point fight to win if Purity can convert here. So panic has not set in yet, but it is going to be a factor this game, Paul. I think if it gets down to the wire, if this goes 3-1, SK might start to panic.
Well, it's very possible. Nick, what's the comeback factor for SK? How do they get back into this one?
They have to be able to get to this backline and shut down these streaks. RedX is the first to fall. That's a big one, but Rock has to die as well.
Rock gets taken down Wi-Fi. It's a 1-for-1 trade. RedX does go down. Immortal comes out here from Bitey. Now it's a whirlwind, but the Quarterfinals are coming online. A seismic crash in the back line is going to find PrinceDanny. PrinceDanny might just fall, but he gets away with like 1 life.
Oh my god, if he stays alive, that's going to be big, and it looks like he does. Passive healing on Grover as well as getting out of combat. Tops Danny back off, and this looks like it could be a good look for SK Gaming to stabilize.
rockmonkey missing a couple shots there. It's funny how it's kind of in the back lines when you have your back turned to the enemy, or the enemy turned to you. Oh, this could take down Wi-Fi, though. Wi-Fi will get taken out by RedX. 25 seconds remain here, as despite how things are going, SK Gaming are still in this one for a defense.
Wi-Fi has to pop the reanimate, and that's a big ultimate use. William goes down. Fade away, fire spit. stolzey not prioritizing a very low HP, under sub 800 HP, so that would have been just 1 shot onto RedX. But at the end of the day, it looks like SK Gaming are able to claim the fight, stabilize for now. And I don't even think an overtime is in the contest and in the conversation here for Purity.
No, Purity are going to give it away, and this is what's scary if you're either team. Because Purity has gotten the objective 2 times in a row, Nick, but they're not out of it.
Paul, they are still, all 4 of them, leading the damage charts out, excluding the supports. The front lines and the damage members are leading the charge. Here's the Dragon Punch coming through, looking for stolzey, and that's the primary matchup that he needs to win. That is his biggest threat, his primary predator gone off the board.
Big elimination there. And when we get back into it, I want to see the items, and I'd like you to break it down for us, because we are going to see Purity with a big credit economy lead. Oh, that was a big one.
That was a big misplay there, but it ended up still going the way of Purity. A lot of resiliences. That's going to be big. No more wombo combo. The seismic crash, the void grips, the impale stuns is not going to be a factor for Purity any longer. But stolzey's gone for Illuminate. He's hunting rockmonkey.
And it's actually going to be resilience coming out now for Purity as well. They don't want to deal with the Dread Serpent, but rockmonkey finds stolzey first. Heat Haze pop now. He's going for Vex, and he knows that the healing is gone, the tanks are gone, and the healing is gone.
There's a Grover still alive to try and salvage this fight, but SK Gaming, they have 1 ultimate to try and stabilize. Dumping in Calamity Blast doesn't even take down rockmonkey. SK Gaming, armed with nothing but a Dread Serpent and a Whirlwind, have a lot of work to do.
That's right. They all get this really thrown off the mount here as 57% come out for Purity now. Bitey trying to rush onto the objective, and Nick, I'm worried about SK. Oh, and a direct shot from RedX takes down Bitey.
Was RedX the unseen answer to this Virtus Pro meta? RedX seems to be making a great contest for it. 87% on the point for Purity. They're going to back off and take this fight slow and smart.
That Fire Spit did not connect on stolzey. He's still in the back line. rockmonkey, only 500 health. He'll start to heal up now. RuBBu just playing this one slow and steady. Purity has 87%, but now it's SK Gaming that have gotten on the point.
There's the time and space coming through. It does connect onto Bitey. He's low HP, but does have his Immortal if he needs it.
Right now it's ultimate stolzey, very weak. Oh, but rockmonkey through the wall there. Takes down one, but it's still SK Gaming. They get 2 kills.
rockmonkey being so smart, not a shred of greed in his play right now. PrinceDanny takes down a big kill onto RuBBu as well. Purity have time to give SK a little bit of bit to climb here. 72% in climbing for SK and a stark 90% for Purity.
It's going to be here a salvo. Doesn't connect. Actually, they do all connect, but it doesn't really do too much to Fernando as he was sitting on Gord. That was going to be a dive in here from
Dragon
Inara.
Punch.
It's online. It's coming very shortly. William is going to find one, though.
He's able to get this charge up. That's a big moment. 98%. The Immortal is expiring. The Fire Spit has landed. The Dragon Punch is charged, but RuBBu has to get in and touch. He's diving onto the point, and he makes it out.
rockmonkey gets a double, though, and a triple now. rockmonkey gets 4. The Quadra. Overtime begins to tick out. It's going to be for Purity, as Purity is not done just yet. Here it comes right now. Purity is 3-2 in the lead, and they put SK Gaming in check, Nick.
Good stuff from Purity. They are smelling blood in the water. The Cinderella story is nearly complete. The clock is ready to strike midnight as Purity begin what could be their final offense against North American 1 seed SK Gaming.
I cannot believe what I'm watching, Nick. 2 minutes remain. The payload already is pushed about 35% of the way. RuBBu on this Drogos has been a phenomenal player, and also the way he's been playing is great.
He didn't even need the Dragon Punch. Whirlwind forced out early. If Virtus Pro has shown us everything, it's that these ultimate management are going to be key down the stretch. RuBBu's already found one. He's looking for a second.
That's right. The Red Turpin does come out, though. RuBBu, he might fall here, but no, he gets picked over with safety. rockmonkey's in the back line. He's going to find the Buck. Buck's going to have to disengage. Recovery back to full health, but RuBBu, he's weak as well, but this payload is already at 90%.
They're being smart. They're getting out of combat. They're using all the healing available to them. SK are down 2. The Dragon Punch is ready. Wi-Fi has the reanimate, but there's still a Dragon Punch ready.
rockmonkey comes out here. It's RuBBu.
Oh, no!
He's going to connect to stolzey. 124 remain, and SK Gaming, they need a big defensive hold.
Fighting away. William did go down to the reanimate. 13 streak for rockmonkey. He has to die, and fast. Respawn proximity is going to bring SK slowly back into this fight, so hope is not lost.
Not yet, no. RuBBu, he's going to fly around the right-hand side here. Salvo comes out, depletes that Bitey shield. Bitey's very weak. The Fire Spit just hit 3. Oh, and it's going to get reset. It comes out again, but stolzey finds RuBBu.
stolzey goes big when he needs to, but rockmonkey is putting SK on a clock. They are pinned in a corner. The payload inches the Inara wall. It is Wi-Fi holding it on by a thread.
49 seconds remain. Whirlwind comes out as well. Now it's both teams. They're scrambling here. They're scrambling, trying to find any sort of success. But right now, SK Gaming, they're the ones that are trying to get it. They get a big defensive hold, but it's a 1-1 trade, Nick.
Can they hang on? They do have the Hex of Fire breathing down their neck. Time and space. Purity are going for the throw. They get it. They upset SK Gaming from the PGS. They started from the bottom, and now they're here.
I can't believe what I'm watching. A Hex of Fire through time and space, and the PGS team Purity have eliminated the #1 seed as SK Gaming are headed home.
They are
Oh no!
awestruck. The coach has fallen silent. He cannot believe what has happened to his squad. Dejected. SK Gaming cannot believe this. They have fallen so far, so fast.
Started from the top, and now we're here. Jesus! Look at these stat lines coming out now as the scores are online. Oh man, 7-17 for stolzey.
rockmonkey, 18-5. That is a lot of deaths on the side of stolzey. He couldn't find the big kills he needed to. And now the question is posed to the rest of these teams remaining at this land. Is Drogos the unseen and untapped answer to this Virtus Pro meta?
A lot of people thought when the thrust was nerfed by 30%, we'd see a lot of Drogos go away. We have, not as much occurrence as before, but I cannot believe people thought Gangstars were the #1 PGS team coming into this one, but Purity has just defeated the #1 seed of SK Gaming, and we're going over to the desk to hear what they have to say about it. Wow.
After a 5-game battle, Purity brings it home. What are your general just emotions about this?
I don't know what to say. I think I need to say something, right? I'm not sure what to say. Purity is looking like they have something to prove, and I really hope that they take that enthusiasm that they showed here against SK throughout the tournament, because I think they can be a dark horse here.
I feel like we had some clear analytical points going through the games, and then with that ending, it just makes all of it rush out of the brain, and in comes this, what? We saw it happening through the set, but to see it actually closed out, and rockmonkey in particular, Goremizer, man, he was showing out.
Every single time rockmonkey was comfortable, Purity played completely differently. I guess when they were up against SK in games 2 and 3, it was close, but you could tell it wasn't quite the same. Purity 1, 4, and 5, completely different team coming through, and all of it I feel like is just on the back that he was able to go forward, especially with that Shaolin in the last one, get quadra kills, damage all around, and just set it up. I mean, huge numbers from this guy, and he didn't seem to falter when he was on a pick that he was happy with.
And not just him, but looking at the charts right there, you got RuBBu, you got RuBBu, you got everybody just pulling their weight in their own entire way. So, Cuss, how did all those elements just come together to complete the puzzle?
This game right here, this was not the rockmonkey show. It didn't need to be. RuBBu came in huge. RuBBu came in huge. Tooney, absolutely lights out healing. I didn't expect that from him. Honestly, I didn't expect much from Tooney, but he's really showing that he's a world-class player as well.
And I know you're fairly close to a lot of the members of SK Gaming and actually got to chat with them a bit going into just this LAN and throughout this time. How do you think they're feeling about the fact that they came in as #1 seed, got 3-0'd on their first day, and just got defeated here in 5 games?
It has to be difficult for SK. They're a great team. They're a great bunch of guys. I feel like they were a little bit behind in the meta and didn't adjust to this LAN meta very well. They tried to, and you know what? Purity said, we don't care about the LAN meta. We're going to pick what we want to play. We're going to pick what we're good with, and it showed here today.
Do you agree, Gore?
Yeah, there not many people coming into this were thinking this is going to be Purity's game. They thought close. I thought max maybe 3-1 for SK, but coming in, and especially when you're SK, it's not the end of the world for you. You still have the future to look forward to, but knowing you've been stopped from going to HRX, you came in heavily favored. You could see it in the player camps. Like, they are dejected. It hurts. And I said this in cast earlier. When you are the player having to watch another team that you're like, we could have beat them, and you have to sit in the crowd, it changes your entire perspective.
I don't like seeing sad people. It makes me sad. And just watching their faces go from Bitey was having this great time, adding flags throughout the entire set, had his little pupper right there with him, and just that drastic drop all the way in the end with their entire feeling.
Yeah. You can't... It's tough to lose a LAN like this. It really is. And I really wish, I have been there before. I really think SK can bounce back, though. They've got great personalities. I hope they don't take this one to heart. I really hope that they look at this, it was a mistake, and they take it forward.
The set did go the distance. It went all the way to 5 games. SK performed very well, but Purity managed to clench it through, so congratulations to them. And to have a few words with them as well, we got RuBBu standing on by. So, my fella, take it away.
Welcome, everyone, as I am standing alongside the winners of that last set, the entire team here of Purity. Congratulations, guys. You had a phenomenal showing against SK. To my left here is rockmonkey. rockmonkey, tell me, what were your thoughts going into that final game knowing that you got Shaolin?
Who was going to win?
Well, that's a good one. And as well as that, elaborate a little bit. I knew you thought you were going to win. That's great confidence. At what point in the game were you like, this is a reality? We just beat SK Gaming.
Still isn't. It's still kind of crazy. Still kind of going over.
Crazy as well. All right, well, why don't we have RuBBu actually switch over here from the far end. I want to talk to RuBBu for a second. As RuBBu, you went Drogos there. Some people thought that was on that map in particular not a great pick due to the small size of the rooms and things like that. What was the thought process, and were you hovering over any other champions going into that one?
My team wanted to go Grok there, but I saw no hit scan. No hit scan. You go Drogos, you win game. That's how you think about it, in my opinion. You need hit scan for the Drogos.
Was it also a comfort pick for you guys?
For me, definitely. For me.
Sure.
I love blasters. BK Drogos is my bread and butter.
Well, you guys really held it down. Let's have RuBBu as well now. Sorry, guys. We're going to have some keep rotating over. All right, RuBBu. You were playing the Ruckus. another character that you have and throughout the PGS have always been able to get your hands on. There was one time there in Splitstone Quarry when you flanked around the bottom, over the top there on the left-hand side, you came down behind the entire enemy team. It's secured yourself the 3rd round. What was the thought process on that, and how were you able to achieve success for your team?
I know my boy William makes so much space for all of our DPS and even myself on Ruckus. You need Ruckus, space. You need space with Ruckus. So I know that they were busy distracting the SK boys, so I had enough time to wrap around fire and get behind them and deal with the Grover. That was my main goal that game, was to make sure that that Prince Danny didn't do too much on that Grover, because we know that Grover's pretty strong against the Shaolin. Right. So if I shut him down, I let Rock do whatever he wants, and that's pretty much all we want.
Well, that's an interesting take on things. William, why don't you come on down now, as I want to hit everybody here. You have been known throughout the PGS, tons of McCall play, really the front line here, the big standard front line for Purity. What were just your overall thought process on the entire game, and who's the comm leader here from the team? Everyone?
Everyone gives in their own input, but the big ones are me, RuBBu, and Tooney. We're the big 3 shot callers, and it's just like we take turns. We know when someone's going in making space, they need to focus, so one takes over. And going into the game, like, we all trusted each other. We all did our own roles. We did our jobs. RuBBu shut down the Grover. I made space. Drogos and Shaolin, Rockmonkey, and Redx just fragged out with all the space they had. And Tooney just healed us. Help! Need healing!
VHS, need healing. And just real quick, Tooney, come down here for 1 second. And just, Tooney, I don't remember when you joined the team here, but I don't remember seeing you on the initial roster. When did you come to be a part of Purity?
It was basically like a week ago, because one of the players had visa issues, so I had to come in last minute as their sub/coach, and it turned out that I still got it, basically.
Well, you just heard it now from Purity. What an amazing set. They're going to advance over SK Gaming. We're going to go to a quick break and be back with the next set. Wow, what a set.
If you left me, wouldn't let you go. If we're standing miles apart, I'd be a domino. I will let you know through vibrations of me. Wouldn't let you go if you left me. Wouldn't let you go if we're standing miles apart. I'd be a domino. You would feel my flow on the ground beneath you. Vibrations